What's up? Sergio?
Hey! You guys get ready?
Yep, I'm not good at holding plates in front of screens, but there we go. Okay, so everyone, you came 6th, right?
So we're live now. This is Bully Bush, everybody, who you probably already know, but yeah, he won 1st place on the 24 Startup Challenge, and props to him. Like,
Thanks.
seriously, this guy shipped like crazy. I watched the stream. It was awesome. So now we're gonna eat cake.
Congrats on coming 6th too. That was awesome too. I really like the idea for OpSpot.
Awesome. I wish we could have gotten Anne Law.
Oh yeah.
She was cake too. But
you know what?
Unfortunately,
Let's bug her last minute.
Yeah, it was really last. This was last minute. It was like an hour ago.
We're eating cake without you. Come quick.
Oh wait, you're cutting up a little bit.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah, we're cutting up a little bit. Hold on. Let me cut some stuff in here. Alright, so you may be better now.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, it was working for me fine the whole time. But is it working for you?
Yeah, it's probably my end.
Okay. So first of all, has everybody tuned in yet? Let's see how many people we have.
Yeah, I haven't checked. Let's see. Let's take a look. So, at least on my end, I have about, oh, it doesn't actually say, like 4 viewers, yeah. Not a lot, but that's fine.
Yeah, I only have 3 by the looks of it.
Oh, we're on essentially the same thing. So we are doing essentially the same number, so about, I think, at least Ben and Riker are on the same stream at the same time, so we have Ben and Riker watching simultaneously. By the way, hi. Hi.
Yeah, hey everyone. I know I've got about like 4 or 5 people in the chat here who have come in and said hi. So yeah.
Alright, so do we eat cake?
Yep, I think so. Okay, what do we do? Just eat the cake?
Yeah, do you want to do the honors?
The honors,
Go
okay.
ahead. First place.
I need to do this in like slow motion up at the camera. Okay, is that good?
Yes.
Optimum cake eating position. Okay.
Yeah. First place cake. Celebrate. Now my turn. It has syrup. It's kind of soggy, but that's fine.
Pancakes are nice anyway.
Alright. I confirm they're good.
Awesome.
They're good.
Nice.
So, let's kind of do like a little interview thing, because like you're already on stream. Let's have a casual conversation.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Can I ask you a few questions? Like.
Yeah, sure.
Off the top of my head. So, what's the roadmap for like maker.rocks? I see that you have a lot of ideas for it, and go ahead, tell us a little bit.
Okay. What a time to be alive. Okay. So actually, you won't be able to see my screen, will you? Can I share my screen or something? Oh, here, share screen. Look.
You can? That's looking
yeah, looks like it. Let's just do.
Oh yeah, you can. That's cool.
Share. Is this gonna work? Awesome. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, I can.
Okay. Now in. Oh, I just realized we weren't on that mode. Anyway. Okay. Cool. So. Yeah. If I go to here, I have. Don't know what. There we go. My Notion's sidebar came up finally. If I go to here. Oh, it looks really weird squished up. Wait a sec.
Yeah.
I think what I can do is the Kanban's actually embedded in this public roadmap, so I usually just go straight to here. And also hide the sidebar. There we go. Awesome. Here. So this is the roadmap. I've already started doing some stuff actually. In fact, a lot of stuff. I think. Okay, the last thing I did for the challenge, like during the challenge, was there. So I think since then I've done all this stuff already. But yeah, basically, I don't know if everyone's familiar with maker.rocks. It's basically a profile about you as a maker. And so I made this during the 24-hour startup thing. And already it shows a lot of, well, a few stats about you. There are actually still a few things where I started building it in the challenge, but it didn't end up onto the interface because I couldn't really find a way to fit it in. So I still need to do some of that stuff. But yeah, basically, I really like this project because it's quite flexible. Features are pretty much just a matter of, you know, adding stuff to profiles. And in fact, same with paid features. So at the moment, this is completely free. I'm not really making any money off it, other than, of course, the $1,000 prize money, which was awesome.
Yeah.
This is actually quite real time, wow. But yeah, so some of the things I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, so if I go to here, I actually have a tag here saying paid feature. So the gist of it is I'm not going to make the whole thing paid or anything, like KanbanMail. I'm just gonna charge for paid add-ons. I'm probably streaming for like an hour or two, maybe. Somebody just asked in the chat.
Yeah, I just saw.
Oh, you? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I'm sharing my screen, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the two things I'm thinking so far are custom domains, because already I've had a few people contact me saying, this is awesome, it's kind of like my own personal website, because not all makers actually have personal websites. Yeah, so what I was thinking is having a custom domain feature where you can host your maker.rocks profile on your own domain if you want that to be your main link. So like sergiomate.com or whatever could show this maker.rocks profile. Then I was also thinking for people who do already have personal websites, you might still want to show these stats, and linking to it's, you know, not the best. So what I was thinking of doing is having a thing where you can embed it, but you just pay like one-off $5 or something, and then you can just embed it on your website or wherever you want, and it just shows the profile. Maybe like without the header bit because it will probably already be on a personal website, but yeah, having a maker.rocks embed. Then in terms of other features, cool. Yeah. Then other features, a leaderboard's a big thing that I want to do. Peter Levels actually wanted a leaderboard, because I think at the moment he's got like the third most total product hunt upvotes or something.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we were actually talking yesterday. There are like 4 different sites that show the total product hunt upvotes, and every single site, including maker.rocks, shows a different number. I kind of lost my faith in addition.
Oh god.
Including when he had a little play around with the API, even he got different numbers for some reason. So that's just weird.
Wow.
And also just having a maker score, which combines all metrics. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff I've got planned, but I'm not going to go on about it for too long. You can see it at the roadmap.
Yeah, link it on the chat so everybody can take a look.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Public roadmap, then share, copy page link, awesome.
Well, that's pretty cool. I see that you have a lot of personalization options coming up in the pipeline, like, for example, color schemes and whatnot. and that would be really cool to make it yours, you know, and make it shareable so you can make it your own and put it like on your Twitter bio and whatnot. So that's really cool.
I'm actually experimenting with that at the moment. Can I show you something quickly?
Of course, yeah. Go ahead.
Localhost / profile.html. So if I go to here, whoop, what did I do wrong? Is this thing up? Is it profile.html? Oh, I'm doubting myself now. What's this thing called? Thought it was called profile.html. Code, frontend. Profile.html. Did I spell it wrong or something?
Are you in the right directory?
Yeah, let's just check. It's weird. Very odd. I am in the wrong directory. I forgot. I need to cd code / That's better. Okay. That's better.
It happens. It happens.
/ profile.html. Here we go. So I'm actually working on that at the moment. I just need to get an interface for changing the colors. But
ooh, fancy.
So if you go here, I've actually just got a CSS variable here, theme hue 30. So let's say I change that to like 230, then everything updates like that.
Oh wow! How does that work? Like, does it use hex or something? I've never really used CSS variables and views.
Well, for those colors, I'm using HSL. So if you see here, I've got a variable called theme color, which is normally the yellow, and then theme color darker, which is the text color here. So yeah, all I needed to do there was replace the hue here with the CSS variable, and then I can make it whatever hue I want, and it'll just update nicely.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and even this this logo up here updates, even though that's an image. That took a bit of work, because I had to use like CSS filters with hue rotating and stuff. So yeah, if you change that, it'll also, you know, change the color of that.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Yeah, I can tell you put a lot of effort into that. Details like that, people notice them and they're really cool.
Yeah. So I just need to make an interface where you can change it, and then we're good. And I'll put that live.
That's gonna be a update, so people can change the colors and the whole.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, I have one more question. How was that moment when you read the tweet that you were like first place? How was that moment? How did it feel? Where were you? Tell us more.
Okay. So it actually happened while I was sleeping, and I'm kind of glad because I was reading up through the messages on Telegram, and it sounded like really suspenseful. Everyone's like, one more to go. Ethan's either first or he's lost, and like, you know, because apparently it was really drawn out or something. So I think.
Yeah, it was really drawn out.
Yeah, I think.
I was in class when I was checking that out. Sorry to interrupt. I was in class.
Oh.
And when it was getting to the first place, everybody was like, it's either Ethan or it's not, and we were so like, it was a tense moment.
Yeah, that would have been so stressful if I was awake.
Honestly, the best thing you could have done was sleep, because those moments were so tense.
Yeah, that's what I did. It was at I think the announcement for first was made at like 3:33 a.m. or something. So then I woke up at 6 a.m. Should I stop screen sharing, by the way? I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
I'm big now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I woke up at like 6 a.m. I think. and I checked my phone because I think Armin actually told me that that they were being announced at 8 a.m. my time or something, but they just obviously were announced quite a while earlier. So yeah, I woke up and I got this DM being like, "Hey, congrats on winning. How do I send you the money?" And I just like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." In fact, I think the first thing I did was, there's my cake. The first thing I did was take a screenshot. If we go somewhere here, I have a screenshot of my phone screen when I woke up. Here we go, this is it. 6:01 a.m. Partly cloudly. Hey man, congrats. Yeah.
Great joy yourself.
So that was awesome. But I'd like only woken up a minute ago, so my head was still kind of like, what, is this for real? And
you were like, am I still dreaming or something? What is going on?
yeah. It was really hilarious. I had a dream last night that we were doing this stream, but I was so tired I forgot how to talk. So yeah. But yeah, so I kind of, I still hadn't actually seen the tweet which said coming, like you came first or whatever. I'd just seen the DM. So then I hopped onto Twitter, and I went to notifications, and I scrolled down through like 50 notifications, and waited for them all to load. And then I finally, yeah, I got the winning tweet, like the tweet saying you've won. I think it got like 35 comments or something of all people saying congrats. So yeah, there was a lot to go through. But yeah, so I got to it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And yeah, then I kind of just chilled on Twitter and caught up with all the notifications in like Telegram and Slack for like an hour or something. And then
I can imagine. And of course, internally celebrate, like, yeah, party hard inside.
Yeah.
For me, the story was kind of interesting because I was in the middle of class. So people were presenting. They were presenting some stuff that we needed to do for a class, right?
Oh.
And suddenly, I receive. They start tweeting out the results, and I am constantly refreshing to see if I get mentioned. So I go to my home screen, right? And you know that Twitter has this notification icon that's a mention icon, right?
Yeah.
And I had been congratulating people that were winners before me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I see a mention icon, and I'm like, I get all excited. I'm like, oh my god, I might have won. It was just people saying thanks.
Oh.
Yeah. But then eventually it got on and on. They started saying more and more results, and suddenly it gets to the 5th and 6th place, right? So I keep on refreshing Twitter, and Pat Walls mentioned me. What? And then I noticed I internally celebrate a lot because the classroom was dead silent. They were dead silent. I was trying to contain my emotion. I was like looking at my phone, just tweeting in class. Thanks, everybody. And suddenly, while I was tweeting, a classmate that was presenting in the front of the class goes like, he mentions me as an example for something he was presenting. And everybody in the classroom looks at me. And I'm just here tweeting on my phone like, why was my name mentioned? And you can see the professor just looking at me like, I know what you were doing. You were on your phone. But all in all, it was a really fun moment. And yeah, I was really surprised. Pat Walls, of course, texted me. He was like, do you want to use PayPal or whatever? And so I got the dev.2 coupon. I bought like a cap or something, I think. You know, it was a really fun experience. Also,
awesome.
I saw your product launch. That my friend is success. That is success.
Thanks.
So I had a question I kind of forgot in the moment. Hold on. Yeah, I completely forgot. Just enjoy your cake for a moment while I come up with a question, because I had a question to ask.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh, I just got a notification here. Rono Metza is back.
Oh, the what's he? Make Hub guy, right?
Yeah, he just followed me on Twitter.
Oh, he's alive. Nice.
Yeah, he had disappeared for like a really long time. I'm glad he's back. I was a huge fan.
Awesome.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, so I have one question I'm gonna ask you. One more.
Yup.
How was that process of making maker.rocks? Like, give us an overview of how it went, which roadblocks you faced, what did you learn from it, maybe development-wise, or like just launching a product in 24 hours. How was the experience? Like, tell us more about it.
Okay. Well, first of all, it was very fun. Yeah. There were definitely some bits which weren't fun. When I was like super tired and stuff wasn't working, and I was like, why is this not working? And I had no idea why. But in general, I thought it was really good. I mean, the final product had a lot of stuff missing. I kind of looked at it at the end, and I'm like, woo, I made a thing that shows your name and your image and like a list of what you've done recently. So I didn't actually get to add as much stuff as I would have liked. So a lot of that stuff went on the roadmap. But I still think that I ended up with like a fairly polished product in the 24 hours. Like it probably had a few less features than I thought, but it turned out very nicely. So I was happy with that. Yeah.
I think the launch and the MVP per se were splendid. It was executed pretty well. I mean, for like, how do I say this? It's more like for a 24-hour product and like just generally pumping out content, just hustling those 24 hours and writing, getting things done. You rocked that launch. Like,
thanks.
#1 in product hunt. That's insane. I think not even like several people in Slack that have done consecutive launches can get #1 like that. And it was all because of marketing, about how you did the product, how polished the product was. Because for a 24-hour product, like for an MVP that you have to get running, and you know, it's quick, you're under that stress of getting things done and errors and whatnot. And I think it even like it kind of crashed in like 30 minutes before, so you didn't have that time to polish it and you know.
Yeah, the backend wasn't polished at all. That was terrible.
And, no, it was polished feature-wise and everything.
Yeah, the front end was polished.
Oh,
not the back end. In fact, it actually, I don't know if you heard this, you probably did, but for everyone else who's watching, fun story, it actually crashed the next day, well, like during the same day, but because of time zones, it was the next day for me. It actually crashed again, probably for like 4 hours or something crazy. Luckily, the only function which continued working was the sign up function. So actually, so I didn't lose any people. But actually, what happened is in some lazy last minute coding near the end of the challenge, I'd done a thing which just loops through the entire array of Stripe objects, so which gets every single customer. So it was paginated by 100. So I think when I went to bed, that probably would have been like, you know, maybe 2 requests, like 200 people or something. But by the time I'd woken up, so many people had signed up that the requests were timing out because there were too many pages. But I didn't notice that until like.
That's a really good issue to have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good bug. That's a bug I want to have.
I mean, it's not like an insane amount of people signed up. It was like maybe 600 or 800 or something.
600 people? That is insane.
Well, yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
But it wasn't like 100,000 people crushed my server or anything. It was just my lazy backend programming. So yeah, but I didn't notice that until I came back from school. And then I did like some hurried last minute fix things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see a lot of people launching MVPs these days, minimum viable products for people who don't know. And they've kind of got the functionality, but they look like really bad, or just or really meh at least. I think it's better to launch a product which looks really nice and has only the core feature, than to launch a product which has like a lot of other features but still looks bad. Because the whole point of MVP is that you're trying to validate stuff, which is all about marketing. And marketing includes having an awesome design, because that's what's going to get people excited. I think with maker.rocks, it was just a list of Product Hunt products and a list of your stuff from Makerlog or WhipChat. But it had a nice design, I think. And people were still contacting me saying, "Hey, this is really awesome," and it was like really hyped and stuff. So the other thing is, I made sure to say, this was made in 24 hours. This is not a final thing. I'll be adding more stuff really rapidly after this. So then you have more people sign up because it looks great, and then from there you can just add stuff. As long as you have the core features and everything works nicely, I think that's what an MVP is about. Because if it looks bad, then you're not going to validate it.
Yeah, because people are not going to try it if it looks bad.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have like a 2003 looking page, but on backend, of course, people are not going to try, because what the user sees is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's something developers, like people who focus mostly on development, don't get.
Yeah.
User experience matters so much, and if your product could be the greatest thing in the world backend wise, you could have the greatest technologies, but if the user doesn't know how to use it, you're lost. It won't work.
Yeah, like the user's not going to care if you use like a fancy arrow function or like any of that stuff, and they're not going to tell if you have like a bunch of inline CSS or whatever it is, inline JavaScript.
As long as it looks good.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care, essentially. Of course, you can't, like, for example, you can't make your backend be prone to like SQL injections. Don't get too sloppy in the backend. But,
yeah, of course.
Like, just make it work, make it pretty, and you've got a really good MVP, and that's what it's all about. Just validating the idea, getting people to sign up, and making it usable.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky with maker.rocks, because with KanbanMail it's like emails, so it's really important that it's secure, because some people are probably getting confidential stuff that they don't want to be hacked or leaked or any of that stuff. But with maker.rocks, like of course I made it secure, like not so that anybody can modify anyone's profile or anything. But it's not like important.
Mention how KanbanMail works. For like clarification, mention how KanbanMail works. Like it's all on the front end, right? So it's all on the front end. In fact, I was using it before I even had any sort of backend. The only reason I even needed a backend was for payment. I mean, since then I've added stuff like BullyGooshDB, where I store like info in Stripe, and I've made cloud functions for a few other things. But at first, you could only log in every hour, because to get a refresh token you needed something on the back end. So you had to like re-log in every hour. That was like super beta, like very, very early on. But
Yeah, like it was all started from the front end, and then I just added in back-end bits pretty much when I needed to hide tokens or that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good strategy. Typically, I follow the like back end first, then front end, because then I get a lot of time to focus. So then, for example, in my approach, and this is my approach. Everybody has a approach, but like for example, on Offspot, I got the back end ready, working and really solid, so I could just focus all of my time for like front end, having fun with it, trying new design ideas. Um, but everybody has a different approach. I think that approach I totally works. It works for you. It works for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put my words together. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably not making sense. It's like 4 a.m.
No, it's pretty good. Random question. Are those Makerlog stickers on your air conditioner?
Oh no, that's just tape because it has
Oh,
an LED.
okay. Okay.
It has an LED. And it's really bright at night, and I can't fall asleep with that stuff
Oh, okay.
lighting up the room, so I have a piece of paper taped on top of it.
Because this Hangouts chat thing's like low quality, so that it's, real time. So I was like, are those Makerlog stickers? See, those are Makerlog stickers. Awesome.
Those are Makerlogs.
So with maker.rocks, I actually, for that, I did do a more back-end first approach. That was my first time doing that. Partially because when I started making KanbanMail, I'd never written a line of back-end code in my entire life. So obviously I was going to start front-end first. But for maker.rocks, especially because it was a time-limited thing, I thought, like, get the back-end, working, so then it's really easy to just put all the stats into the UI. So in fact, this time a lot of stuff which probably could be calculated on the front end is calculated on the back end. So then all I need to do is I have my view template, and then it makes the request, gets the data, and then just puts it straight onto the page. And yeah. So that actually worked really well. I think I only started on the front end like maybe 14 hours in or something. I was itching to get started with that CSS so bad, but I managed to I managed to stop myself.
And just to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely yeah, I think making sure you have a good looking front end is more important than your back end, as long as it works. Yeah.
Of course, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, because that's what people notice. When people enter your site, they don't see the Python code or PHP code behind it, of course.
Yeah.
They see the front end you built and how beautiful, for example, navbar looks or something.
Yeah.
And that's what converts people, and that's the most important thing. User experience comes always first.
Did I eat the cake already? I'm partway through eating the cake.
I was gonna ask you something related to... No, I was gonna comment on something. Can we please take a moment to appreciate how amazing Netlify is?
Oh yes, Netlify appreciation stream.
Wow, like it's the future of making static sites and making good applications, web applications. For example, the functions thing. What? You can make little functions that run on JS and make a whole backend full of endpoints that you can just ping, and it's this quick. Like, you can just write a JS function using promises and whatnot, and it just works. It's magic.
Yeah,
and you upload
that's awesome.
Content, and it's hosted statically. It's fast. It has a CDN. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
and it's free. It's free.
Oh, Flavio's just come on. Flavio Cope. I don't know how to pronounce that. He just came on. He said he's here for the cake.
Oh, hi Flavio. Actually, a small comment about Flavio. I was looking up Node.js tutorials or something, a tutorial about React, and the second search result was him.
Awesome.
Every time I look up something JS related, I see a result from him, and I'm just like, wow, this guy is bomb.
Yeah. Makes like 2 tutorials every day or something. Whoop. Is he cutting out there? You still there? Come back. Okay, well, while we wait for Sergio to reappear. Oh, there he is. Okay.
There we go. We're back.
Awesome, we're back. So yeah, like without Netlify, I don't think any of my sites would work. I actually, I was gonna go with Amazon Web Service Lambda, which is actually what Netlify Cloud Functions run off anyway. But I looked at the pricing page, and my mind just exploded. I was like, their pricing page is so confusing. It makes no sense at all. So like, I actually decided not to go with them because of their pricing. And then I think also because they needed you to be over 18 or something, and like I could have lied, but at that stage I was just like, let's go with Netlify. Yeah.
Every in the maker should just avoid AWS.
Yeah.
Run away. Run away.
Yeah.
AWS is like really obfuscated in a way. The pricing scheme, the UI, everything is so complicated. So
yeah,
it's much more manageable to go for options like as you use Netlify or DigitalOcean, or there's a lot of options out there.
See, like again, Amazon Web Services has like a ton of stuff, like a ton more than Netlify. But we use Netlify because it's beautiful, you know. Like
and it just works. Yeah. You just push to get,
hey,
and
Pat,
you can
here's
have
the cake.
Branches.
Pat just tuned in. He's saying, "Where's the cake?"
The cake is there. That's the cake. But oh, by the way, you're on the second screen, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Then again, have a good cake. Have a good cake. I was gonna ask one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your secret to productivity? I've been asking a lot people's productivity advice on Twitter. For example, I made a poll or a thread about it like yesterday, I think. How do you work? You're a full-time student like me. We're both full-time students, and how do you manage your time? Because you are one of the most productive people I've seen on the Maker community. Like, you're always pushing out tweets, you're always pushing out content, you're always pushing out new features on KanbanMail, maker.rocks. How do you do it? What are your tips?
Well, first of all, 2 disclaimers. One, I do not get enough sleep. I should really get more sleep. But there's just not enough time, you know? And number 2, 4:30 a.m. It's a weekend, who cares though? Oh wait, this is Friday night for you, isn't it? Well, like Saturday morning, but like Friday night, Saturday morning. Yeah, okay. Here it's like 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. But
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm from the future.
Whoa.
Google Hangouts time machine. The other thing is I'm not good at getting my schoolwork done on time. Which is because I'm doing all this stuff. But I kind of decide what stuff at school I care about, and I try to focus on that stuff. And then the rest of it, I kind of just, try to get done as quickly as possible. So I have more time for making stuff. As for productivity, like with making, I think a big thing, which is going to sound really disappointing if you're looking for good advice, but is procrastinate productively. Because like you're always going to procrastinate, right? And I found I used to be procrastinating, and I was looking at like article after article on like Medium and stuff, and I was like, I've read the same advice about how to become a web developer 50 times. I don't even need to be reading this, you know? So then, like what I think is like there should always be options of what you can do. So for example, right now I have the roadmap, and I could work on any feature that I want from there. So definitely having a few options. So if you get, oh hey Armin.
Oh, Armin is here?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep, Armin and Pat are both here. He said just for a bit. But yeah. So yeah. If you're on one thing and then you really don't feel like doing that, well then don't like sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Do another thing. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Because
have your list to burn. Like, have a list of tasks you can burn, and just, for example, if you're tired of working on one project, just shift to another. You know,
yeah.
as you say, procrastinate productively. That's actually a really good strategy. And for example, if you combine that with this is kind of a tangent, but somebody on Twitter commented about this cool strategy that's like 1-3-5, the 1-3-5 ratio rule, in which you pick like one big task, 3 medium tasks, and 5 small tasks a day to like accomplish.
Oh yeah.
You have a lot of liberty there on what to choose and what to work on.
Mhm.
So, in my case, my productive procrastination is more like if I'm feeling like I'm a little tired about working on this project, I just fall down on my bed and nap for like 30 minutes.
I mean that's probably
that
also
today.
good too.
I did that on stream today, and then I was back 30 minutes later, like, hey guys. So long story short, I fell asleep.
Were you streaming like? Were you still
I
streaming?
was streaming. No, yeah, I was sleeping right there, and the screen from the stream was just, "I'll be right back."
Awesome.
So yeah, all in all, it's all about just finding time to make, as you say, and you know, there's something that I read about a really long time ago. I think it was taught in my history class. I have this really great, had this really great history teacher who taught me a lot about the Greeks and the Romans. There was something called ocio creador. I don't know how to say it in English,
Okay.
but it's like I think it means creative off time, right? So a lot of people, you know, nowadays choose, and I'm not saying that everybody does this, but let's kind of generalize a little bit and say that a lot of people don't really dedicate their time into making things outside of the maker community and, you know, other communities that are creative. But we have this really cool work ethic, makers in general, that we all just dedicate our free time to making cool things, making new creations, solving problems, and I think that's really great. That's the. What are your thoughts on just creative off time and how you are productive in a different way to others, and how indie makers are productive in different ways than what the mainstream currents typically do on off time?
Well, yeah. I mean, I love creating stuff. Because that's like it's satisfying, you know.
Yeah.
I saw this tweet a while ago from the dude called AJ. I think he made like Card or whatever, like the HTML templates thing or something. Yeah, that guy. It was like nothing fulfills you like creating, nothing hollows you like consuming or something. And like I totally agree with that. Like if you're just lying on the floor, like scrolling through YouTube or something for like 5 hours, you're gonna feel terrible at the end, right? So I mean, like I just find creating stuff like fun and exciting and challenging. And I mean, I don't know if everybody else finds that fun too, or if like us makers, like we're the only ones that feel that, or if everybody else kind of feels that too, but they just don't. Yeah. Hey, Thomas.
Oh, somebody
Thomas.
joined?
Yeah, Thomas Woksep.
I really should get on that stream for a moment. Let's see. Twitch.tv. Ethan the Maker.
Oh, and Diana.
Oh, hi guys.
I'm actually gonna share this on Twitter quickly, because this is like a deep conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tweet. Sergio and actually let's tag you. Having a deep conversation with Matting right now. Come join What are we talking about? We're talking about
Maker culture and
Maker
maker.rocks.
culture, the 24-hour startup challenge, different ways of building startups and more. Come join. Actually, let's say come join us.
All right, so I was gonna write about something, and I want your thoughts about it. Just because I think it's such an interesting topic about this cultural shift at least in, not necessarily from, no, not from the startup community. A lot of people there are like really. You know what? No, I'm gonna give some context before I start. I'm probably
just quickly, did you see Pat's tweet? Thank you, Pat.
No, I have not.
Just want to say thanks. Oh wait, there are a ton of tweets here. Let me just retweet them all quickly.
Alright, let me check it out.
Twitter distractions.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Jobs and was.
Thanks, Pat. Awesome.
Awesome. Alright, so as I was saying, I'm gonna give a little bit of context on what I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
So you remember the day that we did the 24 hours challenge? I think it was the day after. It kind of got viral on, I think it was Hacker News, right? It got some attention on Hacker News.
The 24-hour, like the actual website.
Yeah, the website got a little bit of attention on Hacker News.
Oh,
I saw a lot of negative comments.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
About startup culture and whatnot. And I think, at least in my opinion, that there's been such a huge shift in the startup community as a whole. And indie makers are really challenging the status quo in that community, in the startup community, because nowadays we have makers that are making more than $1,000 in revenue monthly. Look at Levels. Look at a bunch of people are making a lot of money, and from bootstrap businesses that started from zero, literally $0, no VC funding, beating the traditional model of just a typical startup. You know, the startup Silicon Valley, make it there with VC fantasy. You know, I think that's absolutely awesome, and I think it's great that we're challenging that stereotype and generally just showing the world that you can build a business, a tech business, without necessarily getting $1 million seed round, you know?
Yeah.
Challenging that stereotype has been very interesting. What are your thoughts on just the whole startup culture shift, the indie maker community, what we're bringing to the table in terms of influence and culture, and just telling people, hey, you can do this, you can make a business too?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, like the thing about VC funding is, you know, it makes things go faster, which is why people do it, partially, I think. Like, if I got $1 million of funding right now and spend it all on, like, Facebook ads or something, then, of course, I'd have, like, way more revenue from KanbanMail, you know? But I think the other thing is, first of all, there's a lot more risk. So with indie making, there's zero risk unless you do something like really dumb and get sued or something, you know, because you're basically not putting any money into it. So there's no risk. You can spend as much time as you like or as little time as you like, and the worst thing that can happen is you'll fail and you can try again. You know, when it comes to VC. Like you're giving that up, you know. The stakes are really high, and you get attached to your product, almost too attached, I think. Like Naval, you know, that really deep dude on Twitter. He's always talking about how you know, if you want stuff to succeed, you shouldn't be super attached to stuff, because then your ego gets into it. And I think definitely, if you just got $1 million funding, you're definitely it's definitely your ego's going to come more into it from like, this can't fail sort of thing. So yeah, also obviously you're giving up control because what you want might not be what the investors want. And I think definitely for a lot of makers, it's not about like, what can I do to make tons of money. It's more about like, how can I do something that I love doing, and like make that my full-time thing, like, you know, make that a sustainable way of doing things. So when it comes to investors, they're just like, how can we make as much money as we can? You know, and that's what they're going to push you to do, you know, even if it's in a completely different direction to what you think. And like, there have been lots of cases where, I mean, especially with like Elon Musk and PayPal, where the investors just wanted to do, you know, completely different stuff, and then it just kind of like something which, you know, he put like his time, his effort into lying on the floor eating pizza or whatever he was doing, you know, at 5 a.m. Then suddenly these investors come along, and I mean, PayPal's like a profitable company, I'm pretty sure. But you know, then that's lost. So I think a lot of it's got to do with how indie makers have a different goal. Then also the other good thing about indie making is it makes it more like accessible. Like, I couldn't, you know, go to school and also like be running a huge startup with 20 employees funded by like venture capital, you know. But I can go home and sit on my computer and like code up some stuff and set up Stripe and put it out into the world, you know.
I think that accessibility is so amazing.
Yeah, like it's just crazy.
And it's not necessarily like just in the flexibility of work aspect. I think it's also a general flexibility of. No. I'm trying to confuse it with another topic. I think that kind of does naturally, though, take me to this next point, that you were talking about setting up Stripe and just doing all these things, and would you have imagined years ago that access to those technologies would be available to young as us? Like, for example, people who don't have VC funding, people who, you know, aren't really looking for $1 million of seed funding or whatever. And I think that's so valuable, that the democratization of technology has gotten us to this point in which I can buy up a $5 server, hook it up to Stripe, and make a business, you know.
Yeah.
And generally, anybody can code with the resources online available. And that's insane. That's absolutely amazing that people now have the freedom and choice and to start a business with so little risk and have it succeed. For example, I keep going back to this example, but Peter Levels, the guy started a business from zero.
Yeah.
And he made it into more than $100,000 per year, you know. It's crazy. That's absolutely insane. That's a great success story and very inspiring. And generally, it's amazing. It's just amazing how indie makers, the maker movement, has this flexibility to take tools, you know, and the availability, pronunciation issues, availability of tools nowadays is shocking. It's shocking in the good way.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know. I think that's absolutely amazing. Sorry if I'm making no sense. I've said it for a third time. It's really late.
No, like, yeah, that makes sense. The other thing about like the democratization of this whole startup thing is like, you don't have an excuse, you know. Before, I might just be like, oh, I really want to like be an entrepreneur when I grow up, and like when I'm 20, I'm gonna make a super successful business, you know, because that's how it works. But it's like, it's so risky and stuff. Like, it's like there's no reason that like anyone watching who hasn't made stuff, or just any random person, can't just go like open up codecademy.com or like go to Code the Web, shout out, or like search up how to make a website, how to make a website, or like any of that stuff, and just make it. You know, you don't have an excuse. And I think like obviously
you don't even need to learn how to code nowadays.
Yeah, that too.
You can use Card, you can use Squarespace to like start like a little leads form where you can ask people to like pay X money for a service or something, and that's pretty amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because like I think obviously a lot of people are procrastinators, or like make excuses to themselves, like, you know, I can't do this because it's too risky, I can't do it if I don't have the time, like what if it fails, all these things. But now you don't have any of those things, so it's like, do it. Like there aren't really any excuses, like good excuses, that you can really make to yourself anymore, which I think is a great thing, because it means a lot more people are getting into this. So yeah.
And you know what I find as a really interesting correlation? A lot of indie makers are digital nomads.
Yeah.
A lot of people travel the world, you know, explore different cultures, different places to live. And this is kind of an odd question, but eventually, do you see yourself joining this community if you find like a good MRR source? For example, KanbanMail starts blowing up and Maker.rocks makes some money, a lot of money. Do you eventually see yourself like traveling the world? Kind of a personal question, but it's just that it's very interesting to see this correlation, and the indie maker and remote work culture kind of enables this in a way.
Yeah.
You see, you can find remote work and then say go travel for 3 months and you'll still be earning decent money. And, you know,
yeah.
But what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, like they're kind of two different movements that to some extent have like joined into one. I mean, you still like see people saying like, here's how you work remotely, and you're like, oh, okay, I just assume making a business remotely, but then it's like, no, here's how you freelance remotely, or here's how you find a remote job, or whatever. So I think definitely they've kind of started to intersect. But I mean, yeah, like if KanbanMail like can get to that point, or any other project I'm doing, like I'd love to do that. It sounds really awesome. Like I'm a curious person. I like exploring stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and also like obviously maybe even, you know, catching up with people, because like there are a ton of indie makers that we speak to online, and like we never really meet in person and stuff. So like yeah, I'd love to do that.
Peter actually made a survey about a make village.
Oh yeah, that thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking, look, I signed up. I'm probably not going to travel for the next following years, even though it's like an eventual goal for me to become a maker talent. But I still signed up for it. It looks kind of cool. It's cool to meet like-minded people, and that would be a really interesting experiment, like a social experiment to try.
Yeah. So yeah, I think also like the reason that I reckon a lot of indie makers are digital nomads is because they kind of have similar goals, which are both freedom. So the whole thing of indie maker is like ultimately, you know, you don't have a job, you get all day to spend like creating and doing awesome stuff, like doing whatever you want for your business or whatever, and like at the end of the day you get paid and stuff, you know. And it's kind of similar to
what you love, and that's so amazing. It's a fulfilling feeling.
And then
you can talk about this because you are actually getting MRR. How did it feel to get that first dollar from KanbanMail? Must have felt amazing.
Well, actually, it felt terrible. Which is because so somebody signed up. And I was like just sitting on the computer, and then this email comes in, and it's like, I think it was somebody with like the beta tester discount, so it was like your first $6 monthly recurring revenue or something, and I was like, yes, and like I posted it everywhere, and like I was so excited, and then like 10 minutes later I get an email being like, cancel my subscription, And I was just like,
no. All right, then how did it feel to get your second subscriber?
okay.
There we go.
Yeah, first of all, like about the guy who did, like props to him. He was really awesome. So he gave an email with like nice detailed feedback, like numbered, like pros, cons. Like he was awesome. And
that's actually that's decent. Like,
yeah, like
giving your
some of the feedback I was like I still haven't got around to yet, but definitely one of the things, which was that he couldn't see enough emails like at once on the board. I actually finished that like that day, and I still see occasional like old screenshots of KanbanMail floating around every now and then, and like I mean it still had like the nice shadows and everything, but like you could only see 2 emails. You know, the header took up like so much of the screen, and then you had like this whole search box taking up another whole lot of the screen, and then there was like massive padding between everything, and like
wow.
so yeah, like definitely a lot of that was actionable. But when it came to getting my first like actual monthly recurring revenue, that was actually Nick. You know Nick from Makerlog? Yeah, Nick Coates, him. Yeah, he was actually the second person to like sign up as a paying customer. In fact, he still is. So he signed up a different way.
Shout out.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I really appreciate that. I don't know if you're watching, but thanks. But yeah, so he signed up a different way because the last guy signed up from the beta tester email. But he signed up, like he did the free trial, then it ended. In fact, I think he was actually so enthusiastic, he asked me to end his trial early so that he could pay. And I was like, yes. So that was awesome. But I never really properly tested that part, like when somebody like signs up after their free trial is finished, like for paying. So there were like a ton of bugs. So I think he's like, I signed up, it didn't work. And then I'm like, okay, then I found some stuff and fixed it. Then he's like, still doesn't work. And then I like fixed some stuff. I think it was about like 5 times before he could actually even just pay me. And I was like, I'm so glad he hasn't just left by now. So thank goodness he was like a maker and not just some random person signing up and like, oop, payment form doesn't work, let's go away. But I think that was like at 11, at about midnight, and I had like some school thing due the next day, but I did it anyway. It was exciting. So that was the first real revenue, and like that felt awesome. Especially like when you see, like when I get a notification, when I get a notification saying like somebody paid you or whatever, but it's not a new person, it's like, you know, an existing person, and that's awesome, you know, like the recurring bit is like so satisfying, like, you know, that they're like continually paying you to like make this awesome thing, and that they see value in it, of course, because yeah.
Wow, I had a question in mind, I completely just forgot. Oh, right. All right, I got it. You said something about getting a support request, right? At really late in night, right? How do you like cope with free time and, for example, support requests, and how do you, for example, this is more of a mindfulness question. I've been exploring these topics on my Twitter a lot recently, and asking people what they think about it. But how do you for example, when you're about to go to sleep or something, how do you shut down your mind? Because that's something, for example, I've been having a lot of trouble with. Because right when I'm about to go to sleep, and the intercom notification shows up, somebody asked for help.
Well,
and how do you cope with free time, handling free time, mindfulness, relaxing, and, you know, winding down after a long day?
Like, I mean, first of all, like I care about all the customers, obviously, but like, if they're not like paying, then, you know, it can probably wait like a day or something. You know, like they're not gonna die. My earphones keep falling out. So like definitely that. I mean, obviously you also want to take care of all your customers because they're the ones who are gonna convert into the paying customers. but just definitely, you know, it seems fair that if they're saying, oh, how do I do this, or there's a problem here, that, you know, I like help them out with that. Luckily, like whenever there are bugs occasionally, like it's not like there's gonna be a new bug after 7 days or something, like after their free trial's over. So like usually I can like I can get that out of the way while they're in their free trial, and then that's less stressful because it's not like they're paying you $8 a month and nothing's working and you're like, ah. So yeah, like definitely that's a thing. Like obviously reply to everyone. But like just having those kind of like priorities of different types of people in your head, like that sounds bad, but you know, like you can't just pay the same amount of attention to everyone. So I mean, as for like just relaxing, I mean, like first of all, like if I go like to the park or whatever, then I probably won't take my phone or whatever. Or if I'm walking home from school, I'll, you know, leave my phone in my bag and just kind of like with the internet off, and just, you know, chill, enjoy and look around and think. And same thing with like going to bed. I like do like a final check of everything, then kind of just, you know, like switch it all off and be like, if somebody needs me, they better wait till the morning, you know? Because like you've got to sleep. Like that's a natural part of human biology. Like it's not like everyone expects you to be up like 24 hours a day. It's just there's this thing called time zones. So like yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I low-key gotta work on that a little bit because, for example, it could be 5 a.m. and I think, at least in my case, how do I put this in words? I don't ever shut down my mind, in a way. For example, I'm in the middle of class and all I'm thinking about is when I'm going to ship this feature. What am I doing? I could be in the middle of a test. I could be like, oh, an idea. Opens the little notebook. You know, it's hard to shut down my mind in general and breathe for a little bit. So that's something I gotta work on at least. I've heard that you go to the park and just, you know, sit down there in a swing and chill.
Yeah.
And that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great way to shut down the mind because, you know, it's a nice space. It's breathable. There's you know, fresh air. It's cool to come up with ideas. Man.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something. I was thinking about something. I completely forgot what I was thinking about. You see, I kind of like forget things a lot.
Yeah, I think like talking of the park and stuff. I think so. The first thing I ever launched on Product Hunt was like the Code the Web newsletter. Kind of just because I wasn't like feeling ready to launch the whole thing, and I kind of wanted to test out Product Hunt and see what worked and what didn't. So I decided to launch the newsletter as its own thing, where basically I kind of sent each week some web development tutorials, some of them from Code the Web, some of them from other websites. Definitely Flavio, I don't know if you're still watching, but he was a lifesaver. Like when I'm like, no, I can't find enough tutorials to include, I'm just like, flaviocopes.com. Find some tutorials.
It was awesome.
Paste them in. Like, and also I had a few other go-to websites, but yeah. So, whoop.
There we go.
Cool. So like I actually like I came up with the idea. Like I thought about I should launch this on Product Hunt. Like in the park. I think it was like I'd actually managed to get up like early that morning. So I'd kind of been like up when it was, you know, dark and like kind of getting light, and everything was like really peaceful and, you know, nice. And it was like it had just gotten light pretty much. So I like went to the park to chill and stuff, and like I think I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, you know, I really need to, like I've been saying I want to launch on Product Hunt for like a month or two now, and like I think I actually said I was gonna launch like the start of February or something, and it took me until like the end of April. But I was like,
It's scary. It is scary. It
Yeah.
could be the thing is, it's such a game of chance. It could be a total flop, or it could be a total banging success, right?
yeah,
So it's so scary to actually go through with it. I spent like 2 weeks saying I will launch today. Tuesday comes in. I will launch today. Thursday comes in. I will launch next week. You know, things like that. It's so scary. How did you overcome that fear of launching? You were probably gonna get to it
yeah.
now, but
Well, like, because it was early in the morning, I was kind of in one of my, like, overly logical mindsets, if you know what I mean. So I was just like, stuff it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? So get this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna launch this on a Tuesday. I'm gonna send a cold email to Ryan Hoover, asking him to hunt it, and I did it.
What?
Like that morning.
you did it.
Like he didn't end up saying yes, but like, you know, I was like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? So I sent him a cold email being like, hey, and then with some like testimonial or something. It was way too long. It was like a whole essay. Don't do that when you're cold emailing. But yeah.
Okay. I think the real advice here is don't cold email at like 1 a.m. Not cold email that late at night.
But I mean, like, it was good. Like that was like early in the morning, probably like 6 or something. So like, because you know that kind of like because I'd been thinking, okay, I don't think Code the Web's quite ready yet, you know. Then I was just kind of sitting in the park and like my mind was kind of clear. Then I was like, you know what, stuff it. Let's just launch Code the Web on a Tuesday. Send emails to like send emails to Ryan. I think like Ryan Hoover, Ben Tossell. There was some other guy whose name I forgot. And I think also like Bram Canstein. So he ended up hunting it, Bram. It was actually really funny though because like Ben Tossell, he didn't reply to my cold email. So then it was really funny when he ended up like hunting KanbanMail and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that he actually hunted KanbanMail, and that was
this time I didn't even have to send like a cold email essay. He just DM'd me, so that was awesome.
Yeah, you showed me. I think you showed me when he actually DM'd you. You sent me a screenshot. And you were like, "Wow, he wants to hunt KanbanMail."
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes after I posted the paid launch tweet or something. It was crazy. So yeah. But like so I ended up getting. Huh?
All of your product launches have been quite good successes. I mean, none of them are flops.
Yeah, like even Code the Web Weekly. Like I think that ended up number 7 of the day or something, but it still got like a good 200 and something upvotes, and I think I got like 400 signups from that, even though it was number 7 of the day. I got like 400 and something signups.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was awesome. So I mean, yeah, like waking up. Well, I mean, I don't always wake up early. Usually I've stayed up late and stuff. But definitely just, you know, going to the park and, like, thinking about things. That's often when you come up with those sorts of ideas. And just kind of put things in perspective and be like, what's the worst that can happen? And yeah.
Yeah, that's how you overcome fears. You just do it.
Yeah.
You just decide one moment, you decide, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think I was like on the swing, and I got my phone like out of my pocket on the swing, and like went to 500hunters.io, the website with the list of all the different like top hunters, and then yeah. Oh hey, Riker says glad he stayed up to watch this. Awesome.
Hell yeah, we are having a good conversation right here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at launches on Product Hunt. That's why I'm looking this way. I'm looking at your profile on Product Hunt. KanbanMail, it was such a wild success, and maker.rocks. You know, 1,000 upvotes. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I was gonna mention something. Right. this is completely unrelated to the past part, but how was your learning process on how to perhaps how to design and develop? Like a lot of people have different learning processes. I'm pretty sure you were self-taught, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us more about that process. Like, tell us how you started. What made you want to begin? What were your inspirations? What made you say, "Oh, look, I'm gonna make a website"?
Okay. Well, do you know Scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So for people who don't know, it's like this block programming website where you have like blocks and you drag them. There's like this little cat on the screen and you can like make it move around and stuff, and do a bunch of stuff like that. But it's, yeah, it's also kind of a community website in a way. So like for each program that you make, there's like comment sections and you can like stuff, and there are like things called studios or something, and like forums and all that sort of stuff. So like that's where a lot of it came from. Also, a lot of people on there, like, they had amazing like profile picture logos. I was like, if this is the next generation of designers, we are gonna have like some amazing looking stuff, you know? Because at the time, my designs were terrible. They were awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you show us one of those designs? I'm begging you.
Okay. Let me see if I can find something. Let's go.
Awesome. We're gonna see early Billy Goose.
Wait. Let me screen share this. Oop. Share. Can you see it now? I haven't been here for a while.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like /users /bullygoosh or something. That's where my username came from. Oop. My computer's getting a bit slow. Here we go. I will be inactive for a while. Okay. Here we go. Beautiful. There was my very, very old logo here. That thing.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty decent.
Yeah. That wasn't my first logo.
That's
My first logo wasn't even a logo, actually. It was just it was a picture of a clock.
Oh.
I have I think, like, I needed a profile picture, and I didn't make a logo or anything, so I just like clicked on the first thing in this folder, and like it happened to be a clock. So my logo was just like this clock for like a year or something. Okay, here are some of my beautiful beautiful designs. That is some top quality design. Here we go.
Did you make that logo for people?
Yeah, like, I think...
You took commissions.
Hmm?
You took commissions?
No, it was just like a free thing. Like, because, you know, it was all just kind of like a community, and like we'd talk to each other, and we like made this thing where we like did logos for other people as long as they like shared our thing or something. So yeah, then I had I don't even know what this is. Then I had that true work of art. I have no idea what this grape thing is about. Oh, blackberry. Okay. Well, there we go. What else do we have here? My zooming in and out is going weirder.
This was like 1 year ago, right?
No, it was a bit longer. Let me go to here. I can probably... okay, that was the 18th of January 2016. Yeah.
That's still not pretty far away. You've come a long way in like very little time, in two years. That's crazy.
So
wow.
So like, yeah, but if you were in Scratch, you probably would have known. Like, there were some beautiful projects. If I scroll down a bit, I think I had like a studio, Which one of it was it? One of these was it? Oh yeah, here was another one of my amazing designs. But okay.
Alright,
Maybe,
some of them there are pretty decent.
yeah, like
some of them actually look pretty good.
I know, like yeah, some of them look like really good. Like this thing, and yeah, like there was. This is only a bit of it. I don't. Can I do this? If I go to the logos, I might be able to. Can I see nice looking things? Yeah. See, like that thing, and
That's pretty cool. That's
yeah,
a nice logo. For
and
personal branding, pretty cool.
yeah, and like this thing. That's awesome. So like definitely that's where I was inspired with like a lot of the design stuff, but also the coding stuff, because I'd been doing like drag and drop coding things, but I knew that there was this like thing called like proper programming, and I was really curious. Oh, okay, here. If I go to here, we should be able to. Yeah, like there are some really nice designs on there. Yeah.
Wow.
Looking back, they don't look like as amazing as they looked at the time, but like they're still pretty good,
Yeah, I mean, I expected something like MS Paint. This is pretty.
Yeah, and like that thing there, like they made that.
And you can tell there's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
A lot of effort is.
So from there, I decided like, okay, I'm gonna learn coding, and I'm gonna make.
That's logo. It's impressive.
Why are you on Scratch? We're taking like a blast to the past, because this is where like a lot of my early inspiration, like for programming and design, came from. So we're just kind of having a look at that. Yeah. So throwback time. Yeah. So like from there, I kind of I think I was like, okay, I'm gonna make because I'd heard of this thing called like HTML5 or something, because Scratch uses Flash Player, and like I know that didn't work on some browsers or something, or like when it was embedded on something or something, and like I knew there was this thing called HTML5 games or something which work everywhere, so I searched up like learn HTML or something. And I got to Code Academy, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be able to make a game with HTML in 6 weeks. But no, that's not how it works. So like, I mean, like by the end of the year, I had like a website where I could make like the text red and change the background image. But like, I don't think I got started with JavaScript until like forgot when. Yeah, until maybe 2016, yeah, I think 2016/2017, I think. But yeah, so I remember writing like my first line of HTML, and it was like not a draggable colored block, and I was like, whoa, I'm like a professional programmer now, So like it was super exciting though, because like you type in like text and like funny angle brackets, and then like magical stuff pops out, But yeah, so like that's where a lot of the stuff came from. And then from there I started learning like CSS, like maybe a month or two later. Then JavaScript, I think I learned that like the next year, sometime during the next year or something. Actually, it must have been 2017. I think it was.
Wow.
I think it was 2017, because I only started learning HTML in like I think March 2016 or something. So I think I only really started learning JavaScript. Oh no. I think it was 2016. Yeah, because I started learning in 2015. So yeah, and I learned JavaScript, and then I kind of like. So I made a personal website, and it had like some Scratch projects embedded on there. But the problem is, like, I didn't really have anything to put on there, other than like a few of my bad logos and stuff. And like, I was like, okay, well, this is a website, I need to do stuff. So I searched up like SEO tips and like conversion rate increasing, and I installed like Hotjar on my personal website. And like, I was so confused, like, why all these people weren't coming. And then I realized it's because like,
So true.
I realized it's because it's like a personal website and nobody cares about you, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like they're not going to gain any wisdom from visiting your personal website.
Real.
So I think they're like, okay, technically my first project, let me just go back onto screen sharing. This wasn't really a project, but it was like the first thing I made, which actually like I released to other people sort of, and like kind of gave value to them. It was iOS Iconify or something, I think. Yeah, here we go. So like, you know, when like when you go to a website and it doesn't have the Apple meta tag. So like, actually, I don't know if it still does it. Because like I don't really use iOS now. See, here we go. Share with your friends. Help us spread the word by sharing our website with your friends on social media. Had all these like dodgy pop-ups and stuff.
To be completely fair, for a first site, that is pretty cool.
I mean, like, that was my
Like-
first site for other people. But yeah, so like what it did is if a website doesn't have like an Apple icon, like when you add it to your home screen, it looks all like ugly and terrible. Has like a weirdly sized screenshot and stuff. So like there were things that I wanted to add, except they didn't have icons. So I thought, like, why don't I do a thing where like it will let you have an icon? And basically how it worked is it redirected. So like, let's say we get started. Ethan dot link, and then let's say we have oh, I don't know what. Let's say maker.rocks /img /logo. Oh no, is /emoji.png. And then we want to untick use website favicon. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. This was the title. So Ethan, and then we go to here, and then you click submit, and then it takes you to like this page with like some URL like things, queries, and then it says add this page to your home screen. So what that did is then it like added the URL queries to your head somewhere. Here we go. Like it adds these things to there, and then you add it to the home screen, and then you like once you've added it to the home screen, then you click on this button, and then like it saves it to your local storage that you've clicked on that button. So then when you go to this page, which has been added to the home screen, it redirects to the actual page. It stores like it had an ID, which was just the timestamp of when you submitted the form, and then it stores that in your local storage. So like it knows when it goes to something with that ID, it redirects. I think I actually searched up like how to get website query parameters, and it told me to use like PHP or some weird thing. Luckily I got past that one, because then I would have ended up using PHP just to get these parameters here. Like, yeah, like I was that bad at JavaScript at the time that like I didn't really know how to like split it up or any of that stuff. So yeah.
I was saying, to be fair, this is actually quite elaborate for a first product.
Yeah, I mean like
need and you know, I'm pretty impressed.
Like then all it does is like you click on this and then okay, so let's copy this URL.
Most of the people watching wish they had a first product like this. Damn, even I wish I had a first product like this. Wow, that's actually pretty useful.
So
My
then
first product was a social network, and nobody ever joined. Like 2 members joined.
I don't think anybody I don't think anybody actually used this other than me in the end. Like I don't think.
Yeah, but it's still pretty
But
useful.
yeah, like that's the thing is like then. Well, okay. First, let's do this demo. So like you click, I've added it to my home screen, and then like once you've added it, and then I think it adds it to, is it cookies or local storage? Yeah, what's this? I don't know. What's CC? Oh, that's probably from like the weird chat pop-up thing. That responsiveness. So like you click it on here, and then it adds like the ID or something, and it says like there. So then it knows that like if it sees that ID, then it should redirect. And then it redirects, and then like so if I put this link in again, which is what I would have added to my home screen, then I press enter, then it redirects to the actual site. I think I still use it on like my phone for something, even though I have like an Android, but because that uses the fav icon, but I didn't like the fav icon or something, so I actually use this. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna try this right now. It could be pretty useful. Oh god.
So yeah, like the thing about that is like that was the first thing I ever made that like provides value to people, because like nobody cares about looking at your at your personal website with like some embedded Scratch projects, but like this was something that like even if I didn't market it very well, at least it was something that people found useful, and I could like try marketing it.
I'm actually trying it out with me. Yo, this is cool. Whoa. Hold up. I added it to my home screen. The title works perfectly.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little like product.
Yeah. So like I never really told anyone about it. I don't think. I just added those like spammy things saying share it on Twitter. I don't think I had any accounts. I had like an email account. That was my social media. And Scratch.
That social media is always email.
I talked to people on Scratch. I think that was about it. But yeah, so like then all the like weird all the weird scammy like how to get 1,000 visitors to your site in like a month or whatever.
Dude,
Yeah, like
I spent like years of my childhood just looking up SEO tips.
I
and
know,
how to get
right?
1,000 users to.
Yeah, like I did that too.
Right, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna show you a little bit of my first. I think it's still up, so I'm gonna switch here. Let me share this so you can see the goodness here.
Let's go. I've still got some of this cake left.
It's not good.
Oh, it's me.
It's
Hey.
not good. All right, so would you look at this? This was my first website. Oh wow!
That is amazing.
I barely knew English.
When did you make this?
Dude, I was like 11 or 12.
So that would have been like 2010 or something, right?
Let me check. Actually, the videos have dates and the blog too.
You made a blog?
I took this so seriously back then. Look at that. 2011. 2011. 2011. Wow, yeah.
But like that's actually pretty good. Like that takes a lot of work.
I'm gonna stop it right there. That is not good.
Well, okay, like it looks terrible, but that's like a chat website, you know? Like all my first thing did is like store some stuff in local storage and like redirect or something. Like that's impressive.
This was made with some site builder, some janky site builder.
Oh, okay.
In 2010, started. So I was like 10 years old. It was made with some janky site builder. I tried so hard to get people in here. My vision for this whole thing was become the next Facebook.
Like, I mean, I wasn't
So
on Facebook back then, but like, didn't Facebook and Twitter and all that also look like terrible in 2010?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, sure. Maybe back in 2010 this looked decent. So essentially, oh wow, look at this, look at this, look at this warning right here. I have been getting complaints of people that can't sign up. You sign up where it says register.
Okay.
Word of the month. Wow.
What? Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Word of the week. Wow. Nice. This was probably when I had some CSS issues.
Warning,
All the
I've
words.
been getting... Oh yeah. Sorry about the blog issue.
This was a roadmap, bro.
Beautiful. Like that's basically that's basically it, right? You know?
Wow. Okay, looking back at it, functionality-wise, it was alright.
Yeah, like that's impressive, you know?
I think I even had my own. You know, there used to be the service in which, from Hotmail, in which you could have your own domain. I had like a free domain, like .tk or something, right? That's Hotmail actually. Oh, changed. Hotmail actually allowed you to, say, set like a domain into it and allow people to sign up externally. So, for example, if anybody wanted your, let's say, waterforms.com email, they could get one, and you could host your own little email service, right?
Wow.
I had that on. It was actually really cool.
That's cool.
Also, I had my own e-cards service. People could send e-cards. I had my own little YouTube full of pranks. You know, it was decent at the time, but I spent years frustrated because I couldn't get 10 visits a single day. But
Yeah.
eventually, you know, I moved on. I learned PHP and whatnot, and then I kind of did.
Like I actually like I still see that a bit today, where like people just like say, oh, there's this new social network, and like there's nothing different about it except it's like decentralized
Exactly.
or
It's
something
like
like oh, it's like Twitter but decentralized, and I'm like, yeah, but why would I go onto your thing if I can go onto Twitter, and like that's where all the people that I actually know are. Like,
yeah, it's a chicken and egg problem.
Yeah.
So a lot of people try to start new social networks, and they're, you know, nobody's gonna get in there. And plus, all those Ethereum-based social networks.
oh no.
I'm sorry. I think that's a total pile of BS.
Oh, and like there's that weird website where you like write a blog post or something, and like people pay you in cryptocurrency or something.
Oh, Steam it. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it.
that thing. It's weird.
The thing is, the one I'm talking about though, I saw it on Product Hunt a while back. It was blowing up, but I really couldn't understand it because it was based on Ethereum, but to post, you needed to pay money.
Well, that's kind of stupid.
Why would I pay money to tweet? If I had to pay money to tweet, I'd be paying like $1,000 a month. Like, what the hell? I'm not gonna pay money to tweet. That makes no sense.
Yeah. But
All
yeah.
in all, it was like, a lot of people try to reinvent the social network, and really, I think it's a solved problem, but it's also hard to, for example, somebody to solve it again because of that chicken and egg problem.
Yeah.
For example, I really wish Telegram would be bigger in Puerto Rico, where I live, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody already uses WhatsApp, so when you
Oh
get
yeah,
on Telegram,
same.
yeah. So when you get on Telegram, nobody's there. Nobody
Yeah.
uses it. So
I think there's like
actually you gotta stay on WhatsApp.
there's one of my friends who signed up for like a Telegram account like 2 years ago or something. I'm like, chatted to them once, but like yeah, everyone uses WhatsApp. I really only use Telegram for maker stuff, and like that's the thing is like if a lot of makers use Telegram, then like you know more makers are going to use Telegram, which is why I think like having a niche is important. Like if you want to be like a social network or messaging app or something today, like you have to have a focus, which is why you know indie hackers, you could say oh it's just another forum website or whatever, but it's like a forum website for indie makers, you know.
Yes, there's a niche. If you start a general forum, you're gonna fail miserably.
Yeah.
I tried like 25 times before I even started thinking. Like when I was 12 or something or 13, I tried starting like 5 general forums where you can just talk about anything. It does not work. I learned that the hard way. You have to have a niche. Eventually, I started niching down into like technology forum and whatnot, even though it was still too general, right?
Yeah.
But when I started niching down, I would see people would sign up because it was interesting, right? And essentially, yeah, you need a niche. You can't just go in with a really broad, you know, audience and expect people to hang around and come to you. And that's also something I really wanted to talk about. Generally, well, I was going to say something. Oh, right. It also comes down to community building, because Makerlog has taught me so much about community building. In the sense of when you're building communities, you can't. This is advice you see repeated everywhere. A lot of people tell you, start small, don't get too big, don't start with too many features, whatever, right? But you kind of ignore it, thinking, all right, what I'm doing is right. Fuck whatever what other people think. But then you start actually doing it, and you start building a community, and then you realize, in hindsight, there are some decisions I shouldn't have taken. In Makerlog's case, even though I took some decisions I shouldn't have taken in regards to features and how the site is laid out and whatnot, it still succeeded, so I'm kind of the outlier. Makerlog is succeeding, it's growing steadily, it's going pretty well.
That's good.
So I'm kind of the outlier there. I can't really talk too much about that. But if there's something I've learned, and I'm going to write a blog post about this someday, lessons learned about community building. Number 1, don't start too big, feature-wise. Like, you're tempted to start adding following. You're tempted to start adding things like really advanced features that, for example, Twitter has, right? Because you see it and you're like, oh, Twitter does it, so I'm going to do it too, right? I learned the hard way that if you're trying to build a community, you don't start big. Don't add that following feature. Like, I did that on Makerlog, and I paid the price eventually. Like, I really did pay the price. Now that I shifted, for example, to the global feed, it's growing much faster, and people are talking to each other. The community is kind of joining together in a little bit. Yeah,
that was really great. And like, I've found like a lot of new people from there, blogging stuff.
Yes, absolutely, and it brought the community together, because following was essentially what those features like following will not do. They divide your community into small groups.
Yeah, right? which is like good when you have Twitter, because like there are billions of,
good when you have,
like millions or billions of people. Like, but like when you have like the other thing is that Twitter's like not really niched. Like, Twitter's for anyone, so you'll have like a community about makers, and then like software developers and like designers. But the thing is, like, you know, following is for like a social media bubble, you know, like of people similar. But like Makerlog already is that bubble, so you don't need to have like a bubble within a bubble, you know?
Exactly. You nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And in hindsight, if I had taken that decision of making the feed global long ago, Makerlog would be much bigger nowadays. And ever since I made it global, aside from a few user complaints, like some people that complained.
People complained?
Yeah, I had like 2 people that complained were like, make the following options stick. Please,
I mean,
Matang.
like you can still go to go to the following tab, but you know, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people complain. They were like, this sucks." But aside from 2 people, I've consistently seen the numbers like increase, especially because people feel much more welcome. Instead of seeing an empty feed, they kind of feel part when they post that first task. I joined Makerlog, right?
Mhm.
You feel welcome. You feel like you're part of this now,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
When you see yourself with everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big lesson I learned over the past few
Mhm.
days, that you building communities is hard, and you can't start big. Don't try to start big just because other people are you know doing big things, right?
Wow.
Product Hunt started emails.
I just checked Twitter. I'm not gonna check them all now, but I have 62 new notifications.
Oh, dude, I checked like 15 minutes ago. I had like 44. I was surprised.
This is like, how many people are watching this right now? Whoa, 17
Watching, yeah,
people.
that's pretty
How
cool.
many people do you have?
I I, I have no idea. Let me check. Oh, dropping frames. Oh, I'm not dropping frames. Oh, hold on. About 5 people.
Nice. So that means
Yeah,
we have
pretty cool.
like 20 something people right now. That's better than like the 4 people we had before. Hey Riker. Riker says he's still here. So
Hey, yeah, he says he's still here. He also sent it in the chat.
oh okay.
Um, Another thing I wanted. This is more of a question towards you. What are the lessons you've learned, like just generally growing your brand, and not just your products, but also your personal brand? Because I see that you aimed that goal at 2,000 followers by 2019, right?
Mhm.
And you've been growing insanely in terms of reach, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're one of the hottest makers in the game, right? You
Thanks.
are pushing out content. You're you're one of the big makers now, right? How have you managed that growth in a sense? How has the journey been? What have you done to grow that much?
Well, so I started Code the Web in like I think September or October last year. So then I went to like namecheck.com or whatever, where it like tells you if your username's taken on like which websites. Yeah.
That was made by Peter. Peter, if you're watching, shout out.
No, oh no, not startup namecheck. It was something different. I don't think that was around yet, or maybe it was. But like I think it's namecheck, but like without the e, like name CHK or something. But yeah, so I went to there and it shows you like you put in the username and it's like Twitter. It has like every single social network and stuff. So like I put in like Code the Web and I like squatted like every single account. So I got like a Facebook account for Code the Web, Twitter account. I think I got like an Instagram account for some reason. I've never posted anything on there, and like all that stuff. Yeah. So I posted something on Twitter. Saying like hey, whatever, this is my first tweet. Then I had like 50 hashtags because like I'd never been on Twitter, so I didn't know how it worked. So tip: signing up for Twitter, then posting a tweet with 50 hashtags in it, like is a very good way to get suspended. So then I got like suspended or something. And then, like, I think it was like March or something this year, I was getting kind of annoyed about that. So I was like, I'll send them an email and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I had no idea how Twitter worked. Can you please unblock it?
Unblock me.
So they actually did within like a day or something, which was pretty impressive for like Twitter support. So then like Code the Web was kind of my personal account for ages. I only registered for my Twitter account in July, I think, like July this year, which is like 5 months ago, I think, about 5 months ago. Like before that, I was kind of posting everything from Code the Web, and I was kind of realizing that like as I was getting more into this sort of indie maker stuff, like I should probably have a personal Twitter account. Although like managing 2 Twitter accounts at once sounded kind of daunting, but I think I actually, yeah, I got it the night before KanbanMail was on Hacker News, like the night before. I think that was when I did it. So like, I mean, obviously KanbanMail got quite a lot of productivity. I mean, can't talk. What am I trying to say? Not not productivity. You know what I'm trying to say. Activity. That one. Sometimes I just forget how to talk. My dream is coming true. So like, yeah. So like, there were lots of people like tweeting about KanbanMail and stuff. So obviously, like from there, I got quite a few followers because like Ben Tossell and people like that were tweeting,
Yeah,
which was cool.
You got a lot of influencers, like for example, yeah, Ben Tossell, and I think Peter Levels also like giving you a shout, right?
Don't think so. No, that was only Bully Goosh DB. Yeah, I don't think he did. Don't think he did.
I recall a lot of big influencers did like message you and retweet you. I don't remember exactly who, but you got a lot of attention. Like you got decent attention on Twitter. Yeah. For KanbanMail.
So I kind of, yeah. So I think after the first month or something, I had maybe 200. No, that can't be right. Maybe it is right. Let me think about this. July, August. Yeah, it probably is right. After the first month, I think I had like 250 or something. Then like, yeah. No. Okay, so in the first 2 months, I got like 200 followers. So like that was already, like I think that was pretty good. Like at that point, I was actually posting a lot of stuff. Like I was, every time I added a new feature, like so at that time KanbanMail like didn't really even have sending capability and all that stuff. So I was posting tweets being like, "Yay, you can now actually reply to emails from KanbanMail" and all that stuff. And then I think in the next 1 month, I got to 500, so it like doubled, I think, yeah, because first 250 was 2 months, then 1 month. I could kind of already see like it was like the engagement growing a bit. So I remember I used to be like, "Oh my gosh, I got 12 likes on a tweet or something," and like had a panic attack. Except not really, but like I was like, this is awesome. Like, yeah. So then, like the other thing is, it's not just like a matter of like vanity metrics and likes and followers. I mean, like, yeah. But as more people are following you, you get more engagement. So like more people reply to you. You get better feedback. So like often I'd post, I think I posted a few Twitter polls and like previews of features and like asking questions, and more people replied. And then, so yeah, then I got to 500 and I was like, that was awesome. Then I think so. I was like, my original aim sort of, I think once I reached 500 was like, wow, can I get to 1,000 by the end of the year or something. But then Pat Walls, yeah. So then Pat Walls sent I think Ryan Hoover, founder of Product Hunt, sent something being like, what are some smaller, what are some makers with under 1,000 followers that I should, like, interesting makers that I should follow. So yeah, and then I think Pat Walls replied.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still watching. Shout out to Pat. And that was crazy. I got like 300 new followers in like a day or something. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Then since then, it's just kind of been picking up. Like the thing about social media, like, is once you kind of get more, like, a larger following, then like it goes exponentially, because then there are more people liking it and retweeting it and all that stuff. So then more people see it, and then yeah. Oh yeah, we don't know how long it's gonna go for. Probably like an hour or something, maybe, or less. I don't know. Whenever we happen to stop.
Exactly. Yeah. We start when we run out of topics completely. We can totally cut it off completely.
Yeah.
You mentioned a very interesting figure, and you mentioned Ryan Hoover. Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts about? You know what? No, I'm not even sure if I should enter this territory, because it's dangerous territory we're entering right now. What are your thoughts about the different maker communities and just how the community is as a whole, not necessarily inside the bubbles of Makerlog with, and makers? What do you think about the rapid growth of products targeted towards makers? And for example, with Makerlog and product on makers, what do you think about the rapid increase of products being created targeted towards makers? I've probably been repeating the same thing. Yeah. What do you think of?
I think somebody actually asked me that on Twitter like a week ago or something for Anne's like Maker magazine or something. Somebody.
Yes, I also got a DM for that.
Yeah. They were like, "What do you think about?"
That kind of gave me food for thought.
Yeah. What do you think about products targeted to makers? So like obviously I think it's natural, because I mean like the advice, and like the good advice, is that you should make something for like a fairly small group of people that you understand like very well. So obviously we're makers, we're a small group of people, we understand each other well, so that's kind of the natural thing that that you would like that's kind of natural. I think, like, obviously, if just every single maker makes products for other makers, then, like, the whole thing is gonna, like, implode, turn into cryptocurrency.
I thought about that, man. That's why, after I was asked that question on Twitter, they probably asked the same question, right?
Yeah, probably.
If the community is gonna self-destruct.
Yeah.
That gave me a lot of food for thought this week. I've been thinking a lot about it. Mostly just thinking, are we saturating the market? Because there's a lot of products made for indie makers. It might just create a feedback loop and just collapse completely,
Yeah.
That has me a little worried. I was going to text you on Slack about it a few days ago.
Existential maker crisis.
Exactly. That's exactly what I feel. I think Makerlog actually, even though Makerlog was kind of late to the maker train, in a way was early. What do you think about it? Because nowadays the rate of products being made for makers, targeted towards makers, is much higher than back then when Makerlog launched.
I mean, I think it, like, here's the thing, is I don't think it's ever late, because I'm just kind of guessing, but at the moment I don't think the growth of makers is like a straight line. It's like a exponential line. Maths. So like I think like at whatever point in the build up you go at, it's always gonna grow faster after you, because it's just continually growing faster. So if that makes any sense, I don't think there like is
It does make
a
sense.
too early or too late. Like at the moment. I mean, obviously, like Whip entered there first, so that's kind of like the established thing. Before Makerlog came along, which obviously being first does give you a slight advantage. But yeah, I don't think it was too late. And I think
I
like
don't think it's late
yeah.
yet. I don't, at least from my point of view, I do see it the growth of makers in the community as a chart, right? As an exponential function, right? I don't think it's late yet, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's late. I really don't. But I'm still worried about that moment that 'cause I really got into a process with that whole question that I got asked, right? My answer was essentially that I don't think it will implode on itself because makers, we don't only make products for ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
For makers per se, we make products for everybody to use. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, in the back of my mind, even though I answered that I don't think it will collapse catastrophically like they said in the in the DM, it kind of did grow a concern in me. Hey, internally, I'm thinking, hey, maybe they have a point that we may reach critical mass at one point.
Well, I think the other thing is that that these days I think more and more makers also are having multiple projects that they're working on, like kind of like me, like one bigger project and then one kind of side project. So I think that will help to stop that explosion somewhat, because you're not just making a product for makers necessarily. You might also be making another product. I think it would be very hard to make 5 different products for makers and run them all at once, you know?
By the way, this is all coming from people who make products for makers.
Yeah.
Maker.rocks for you, OpSpot for me, and Makerlog, you know? So...
Yeah.
We understand the community. We don't think it's... By the way, for the viewers, we don't think it's going to blow it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to blow up.
I don't think it's going to blow up catastrophically. I think the DM kind of put it a lot tragically. But it was food for thought.
Yeah.
In a way that there's a lot of makers coming onto the scene, and we got to take a look at product diversity and product and the distribution.
Yeah. So I think
it's kind of a tough question to answer, though. It's really tough.
Yeah, I think the 2 factors that are limiting it is, one, that there's only so many products that you can make for makers at once, and then you kind of start making other products.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is there's only so many products for makers that you can use at once, you know? Like, you can't use every single maker product. You can't use, like, WhipChat and Makerlog and MakeHub and, like, one of those other weird things, and, like, you just can't, you know? So I think, like, those are going to be the 2 factors limiting it, because, like, obviously, like, there's a thing where, like, there are already so many people using products in that market.
Sorry to interrupt you so abruptly, right?
Uh-huh.
MakeHub is back.
Is it back? Awesome.
It's back. It's back. You mentioned MakeHub, and I immediately, like, typed it in. It's back. Rono is back.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we should talk to him sometime.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so...
Make integration or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, maker.rocks integration.
That's it. As you were saying.
Yeah. So, I think, yeah, you can only use so many of these products at once, and then, like, everybody's already using a maker product. So if you're coming, like, if somebody's coming along with a new maker product, like, they're just not going to get any users, and then they're going to go make something else. Like, just like when any market gets saturated and there are, like, too many products, then if you try to enter that market, you'll probably just fail and do something else. Like the social network thing. if you try to make a forum website now, just like a general social network, like they're already massive general social networks, so you're going to probably give up on that and do something else. So I think there'll probably be a point where products for makers end up like that. Where like if you're making a new product for makers, you just kind of won't get users and then you'll make something else. I think the other thing is like when somebody starts making a product, it's usually like even if you're already been like lurking in Maker's Kitchen or WhipChat or Makerlog or one of the other Telegram groups or wherever, like you only really start to get to know the Maker community once you actually start making products. So the whole thing of like making products for other makers because you understand them, you only understand them, I think, once you've already like either you've lurked like a ton, or you've actually made a product. So I think that's also something stopping it is a lot of first-time makers. Their first thought probably won't be let's make a product for other makers because maybe they haven't like spent enough time with other makers to understand them enough.
There's also a cultural barrier to. A cultural barrier and a cultural barrier between corporations and the maker community.
Yeah.
For example, if a big corporation like Google wants to make a product for makers, this is a total hypothetical thing, they will just be outright rejected.
Yeah. Well,
because
unless it's really useful, but like, yeah.
There's a mentality in which you can't be an indie maker if you're making like. If you're Google, you're not an indie maker.
Yeah.
And about that topic, I also want to touch another one. Recently, I've been looking to launch a product. By the way, this is just completely separate from the other topic. I think that other topic was kind of a heavy topic to talk about. Probably shouldn't have brought it up.
No,
but,
that's good.
A project I really want to launch sometime this year is human sections. I don't know if I told you about that.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that in the interview, right? With Pat. I think.
I talked about it, but
yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't a thing. It was more like an idea.
Yeah.
Right. Maker sections and human sections. Essentially, it's like it's inspired by your site, by KanbanMail, right? When you scroll to the bottom and you're like. You see something like, I'm not a big corporation. I'm an indie maker, right? I'm making products, not necessarily like Google. I'm not stealing your money. And I think inspired by that made me realize how important it is to have a human section in your homepage, because it gives you that warm, like inviting feeling of, okay, this wasn't made by some soulless startup. Or like VC-backed $1 million BS, right? It was made by just a dude like you and me, just on their computer making code, pumping out content. What do you think about that in the sense of supporting people instead of big corporations out there out to steal your money, right? I think. You know what? No. Open for your thought. What do you think about that? And in general, trying to formulate this in a meaningful way. Yeah, the influence of that and just generally, the words are here, they just don't come out. Yeah, supporting people over big, massive corporations, in a sense, individual makers. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, like I think people like to do that because if it's just like a person, then it's not really evil. Like they're not out there to get you in a way. Like all those trolls on Reddit and stuff. Like, I'm sure if you were seeing like a live feed of them like trolling Reddit with like their face and stuff, like you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a troll. You'd be like, okay, that's like a person who I probably feel sorry for because they're sitting in like a dark room trolling people. But you know, like I'm not going to mention any names, but I know there are some people who think that if you like if you want to like build a following and stuff, you have to act like a big business, you know, like this is going to sound very weird, but I think a lot of people need help like being a human. like being a human online, you know, because like it's kind of natural, you know. You see like all these big companies like Google with like their like official press announcement page or something, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that, you know.
I think a lot of people underestimate the effect of just being yourself on the internet.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because it helps a lot. It helps people relate to you, kind of feel what you're feeling, and it conveys your natural. I know I'm not really all about that energy stuff and spiritual stuff, but it kind of conveys your natural vibe in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows that you're not trying hard, right? You're not trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself. You're conveying your natural energy of I'm excited about, for example, a product I'm building. And it doesn't feel fake, and people don't like fake.
Yeah.
People like real.
Yeah,
human,
definitely.
Or item.
Yeah.
That's something indie makers get right.
Yeah, that's like a big part. I mean, of what actually separates like indie products from like normal products. Even if they're not like, even if they haven't got a huge thing on their homepage saying, "Hey, I'm a real human" or whatever. Like you can kind of still tell that they've put like love into their product, and there might be like funny quirks put in, and like also I think just talking like you'd normally talk is a big thing, like not using weird fancy words and stuff. Like for example, Code the Web. I could have written it like a fancy proper coding tutorial thing, but I was like, no, people like probably don't want that. Like there are already a ton of tutorials like that. What if you could?
People relate to what you're writing. Also, if I'm coming into a blog, I don't want if I'm coming into a blog to learn about code, it makes me feel a little bit better that I see somebody writing, "I'm here to help you code," instead of tutorials about code.
Yeah.
Instead of you have something like, "Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm here to help you learn to code with simple tutorials and whatnot," and that's cool. That's legit cool.
Yeah. So like also just in the posts and stuff, it's like I have like a few bad jokes put in like in random spots and stuff, and like I have a few like text smiley faces and stuff, and like because if you want like a fancy tutorial, you'll just go to like Code Academy or whatever. But
might as well read class.
Yeah, people like they like how do I say this? Like they like it as if it was just their friend teaching them, you know. They like to relate to people.
The human touch, yeah.
Yeah. And I think like that's actually a big selling point. And also like I think people just hate talking to most companies. Like where you get on like the phone thing and then there's like the weird bad classical music grainy stuff playing, and then
send a support ticket and the message arrives 24 hours later. Hi, have you tried to reboot your computer?
Yeah, I hate that. Like if everybody like was just a human that you could talk to, like things would be the best. And like I think that's why, for example, going back before, like that's why we like Netlify better than like Amazon Web Services, because A, they have a terrible website, but B, they're just a massive company, whereas Netlify is kind of a bit like cheeky. They're real humans. The founders kind of like on Twitter talking to people. Like their support teams, like real people who will say hi. And like same with Notion. I think Notion, like Netlify and Notion, are two companies that do that really well. And I think they get a lot of love because of that, and like people using it and like kind of sharing their experiences because it's just so different. Yeah.
No, Notion is an example of a bigger, kind of a bigger startup in a way, but they also do try their best to seem like they're not.
No, like I've talked to them on support and stuff, and like they'll just
Exactly. Yeah, I
like
put
they'll
a
just
few support tickets in,
yeah they'll
and
just
I do talk to real humans, and that's what I mean in the
yeah
sense of they're bigger. They have like seed rounds of and funding rounds of a lot of money.
yeah
Yet they don't seem like it.
yeah like that's what they do great.
Exactly. Yeah. And they always answer on Twitter. They, for example, Todoist is one awesome, awesome example of this on Twitter. They're always answering questions. They're always like, "Thanks for the shout," whatever, you know. And those little details of interacting with a company, for example, on Twitter, right, and having them reply to you,
Yeah.
it really wins over people. You know, it really wins you over. You read that and you're like, "Oh, Todoist replied to my comment. Yay!" You know.
Yeah. Yeah, like
That's also,
I think a lot of people they just they think that like because you know they see companies succeeding and they're like, okay, I should act like a really big company and stuff, but like I think that's actually the opposite. Yeah, I think if big companies like had enough resources to have like if Amazon had like 2 billion or whatever people who could like talk to everyone, they would, you know. So like it's actually an advantage. Just most people don't really see that.
and somebody said on the chat, Notion and Netlify. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also ties into something I wanted to discuss now. By the way, I have like a little note list. Now I realized I keep forgetting topics I want to talk about, I opened a little text edit document with like, ideas that pop up and I just write them.
Awesome.
Something I wanted to talk to you about, like when we were talking about the Twitter thing and Todoist. Something that really works well for indie makers in the first growing stages, and eventually, you know, as you grow on bigger and bigger, right, is doing things that don't scale.
Oh yeah, that. Uh-huh.
Definitely, doing things that don't scale. That's actually a very underrated, at least in my view, a very underrated tip to success.
Yeah.
Because, for example, taking some effort out of your day, some time out of your day. By the way, Zachary says hi on the chat. Hey, Zach.
Oh hey.
Um, taking some time out of your day to like answer that text from somebody, or you know, just welcome somebody into your community. Sure, it's not scalable. Once it starts growing, you won't be able to manage it, right? But it try at least when you start growing. Try at least to continue doing unscalable things every day. Welcome that user, you know.
Yeah.
Help somebody with a question they have. Take part in Twitter conversations like Todoist. They're big. They are big.
Yeah.
They still take some time out of the day to like, you know,
Yeah.
do unscalable things. That's something that's so valuable that people need to realize that growth depends on you going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Where where you think growth is just going to come to you. No, instead of just waiting for growth to happen, going out there and, you know, being yourself. Anyways, I'm dragging on. What are your thoughts about that? What are some unscalable things you've done with your startups that really helped?
Okay. First of all, buy Riker. They're going now.
Bye, Riker. Yeah, bye.
Have fun.
I saw that.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm actually gonna say that I think that to some extent, do things like okay, it's definitely good, but to some extent, it's a bit of a a like fake thing, and like a bit of a like, because people think, okay, indie makers have the advantage because they're small, right? But that's kind of not true. Well, in some ways, when it comes to do things that don't scale, often actually like bigger companies are actually like are better at it because they have the resources. So like for example, Superhuman. They're like this email client that gets like a ton of love on Twitter and stuff. They're probably like one of the main competitors that I kind of look up to. Like they do things that don't scale better than I do, even though they're way bigger, because they have a team of probably like 8 people or something working full time, so they can like afford to do these things, you know. So for example, what they do is at the moment they're actually doing this onboarding thing, which is not like some weird slide which says welcome, here are the features. Like they're like an actual employee goes and like gets on a video chat with the person. Yeah, yeah, like I've seen it on Twitter. They have like a Skype session and like help them get it set up, you know? So that's like the ultimate do things that don't scale. But like
That's
I'm
the ultimate do things that don't scale.
But like I'm smaller than them, you know? Like I'm way smaller than them. And like I can't do that because obviously, you know, I don't have the time to like give everyone a live video walkthrough of KanbanMail because you know, I'm one person working on this like part-time. So like first of all, I think to some extent it's actually a bit of a like not what it's made out to be. I think some parts of do things that don't scale actually work with bigger companies better. And in fact, probably like the best, like I think actually venture capital, like funded startups, are probably in the best position to take advantage of that because they don't have many users and they have lots of resources. So us as indie makers, we have like not that many users, but then also not that many resources. So, but I think that said, like there's still a lot of stuff that you can do to be human. But yeah, so I think like we're able to, like they're able to do more things that don't scale than we are. But like I do think that indie makers, you know, can still be human. You can still reply to people on support. You can like you can say things that like wouldn't normally be expected of a company. You can, you know, fix bugs on the fly. Like I was saying that dude earlier on, the dude who like
push to prod.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember when when it wasn't working for you and I like pushed something with like a console.log?
Oh yes, I remember that. Wow, that's fraud.
Yeah, but so the dude who like cancelled the thing about not being able to see enough emails at once. Like I was able to, you know, like do a lot of playing around with this. It was on a weekend, so like I spent like about 5 or 6 hours playing around with the CSS, and at the end you could see like probably almost double the amount of emails or something. And like I pushed that live, I like sent him a screenshot. I said, what do you think of this? And like that surprised him, you know? He wasn't expecting to get a reply back like 6 hours later with a completely changed design of the entire app, you know? So I think that is the type of like do things that don't scale, which is good for makers, because like the Skype chat thing or whatever, like that's not progressing your product. Like it's making a connection with the user, but it's not progressing your product. But something like making a new feature because someone asks for it, very quickly, that is something which like do things that don't scale, you know, something that doesn't scale, and like it also progresses your product. So then you're getting the two things done at once. You're like doing the things that don't scale to please your customers, and you're also working on your product, which is perfect. So yeah.
I do digress in that last part when you said it doesn't progress your product, mostly because
definitely like getting feedback does, but
exactly, yeah. I was gonna mention that it's also a way of seeing how people they're smart. They kind of they're pretty smart because it's also a way of killing two birds in one shot. it's essentially user testing, user A/B testing. You know,
Oop, your
less.
audio. Yeah, okay, cool. Your audio,
No, it
your
was.
it's back now. It's all good.
Um, it's also a great way to see how, for example, new users react to your product.
Yeah. Okay.
What to improve on, get some feedback. You know,
Yeah.
I do think it improves the product, and also in more subtle ways, like for example,
Yeah.
engaging that customer. Because after I have a Skype chat with the founder or some people in the team of a company,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'm part of this now, you know.
Yeah. I think
And
like yeah, that was a bad way of saying it. I think it's like more that like that doesn't progress like the actual development, but like as in terms of like somebody asks for something, you say okay and you do it immediately. Like that's combining the actual development time, which is like what we spend a lot of time on with the like doing things that don't scale and making people happy. So yeah, but definitely that is a very smart thing that Superhuman does.
yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of clicked in my brain like a few minutes ago. I was like, yo, that's actually kind of that's smart.
Yeah.
At first, I did see it how you saw it. I was like, all right, well, that's kind of a waste of time, but it does help loyalty. Then I realized, oh wait, this is genius for user testing.
Yeah.
Wow. Um,
But like I think like we probably like we can't do that. You
no, of
know.
course we can't do
Yeah.
that.
But
If I was welcoming personally in Skype every person that joined Makerlog,
but I think you'd get like a ton more engagement because like I think is it like 600, 900, however many people that have signed up. Like I don't see that many people logging tasks, I think if you okay, this is just like a random completely random thought that's kind of off topic, slightly. But people join Makerlog because they want to get stuff done. So if you're like hassling them to get stuff done, then A, you're hassling them to use your product, yeah? Like you're sending them follow-up emails every day being like, use it. But they don't care because you're helping their productivity. So like that's something you could do, like not automated, but just like sending them a
oh,
message on like Telegram or Crisp or Intercom or whatever, being like, like, do you want me to hold you accountable? You know?
wow. Imagine sending people a message on Telegram that says, "Get your ass to work."
But yeah, like then like they're probably going to be more active, and you're also like helping them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of productive. It's on the roadmap.
Awesome.
It's on the roadmap to add email digest and like telling people when they're getting close to the straight finishing date.
Hmm.
Telling them, "Yo, log a task, boy. You haven't done anything." Um, uh, it's in the roadmap, and that takes me to next point. User retention on Makerlog has been brutal, absolutely brutal. Right now, let me get some stats real quick. It's been very hard to actually retain users on Makerlog. Now, and mostly because of what I told you a long time ago on in this conversation. Because of the early decisions I took of, for example, not making the feed global, right, and dividing it into little bubbles, right. That actually hurt growth for a long time. I should have done that move a lot earlier. We'd probably have a lot more active users if that happened. But let me get some stats. All right, so today we had. Oh wow, that's. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna count. This is today only, so I'm gonna count. Yesterday was probably like 50. All right, hold on. Wow, that's bad.
I'm actually gonna go fill up my water for like 30 secs.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Gonna put on the
Oh wow.
the
All right.
toilet break screen.
One last thought before we go.
Oh, I'll just be like 30 seconds, just going to the tap.
No.
But,
I know. I know. I just wanted to mention this before you left. 5.25% of Makerlog is active.
5%. Yeah. I think that
Ouch.
like the problem with that is that if you're logging stuff on Makerlog, you have to actually like do stuff, you know? It's not like a game where you like press the up arrow a bunch. Like you have to do stuff, and that like takes effort, you know? So I think like, I mean, obviously there's probably stuff you can do to improve, but I think some of that's just a matter of like people don't want to, like people are lazy, you know? Not everyone is able to like ship stuff every day, you know? Yeah.
It's quite a commitment to join Makerlog.
Hmm.
The same applies to Whip.
Yeah.
Anyways, go refill your bottle.
Okay.
I'm holding you up.
Wait a sec. Didn't it?
I'm actually gonna get some water myself.
What's up?
I'm getting
Wait a sec.
You're back.
There we go. Is he back? Not yet.
Currently getting some water, so we'll be right back.
Okay, awesome. In the meantime, I'll check Twitter, because that's exploding. 86 new notifications. So many notifications. Ah. I like it how Pat's screenshot, like my eyes were closed. Whenever anybody takes a screenshot of me on a live stream, my eyes are always closed. Yeah, I'm gonna probably put this up on YouTube after, I think. Tell me when you're back, by the way, because I'm currently on Twitter.
Oh, hi.
Oh, you back?
Yep, I got some water.
Awesome.
So, as I was saying, user retention is abysmal. So I really do need to work on it. It's been getting a bit better, because as you can see on the graph here. Hold. Boom. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes. There's my cake.
It's getting better.
Whoa.
Nowadays,
Nice.
190 tasks per day, and users that are new, for example, for the past few weeks, are visibly much more engaged since the update.
That's awesome.
So it's doing much better, and that was a great move I took. But it does need a lot of work, and I think that the email digests will be the next step, and the redesign was a big deal. It's
Yeah.
a big deal for it. It's a big goal of that redesign, and I mentioned this on stream. A big goal is I forgot to throw my yesterday. Yeah, right. A big goal of the redesign is to make Makerlog more content centric.
Yeah.
And community centric. For example, take a look. I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Something I really don't like about the Makerlog homepage is that it looks like I'm trying to sell you something.
Really?
For example, take a look. When I look at this, I think, what am I looking at? Am I looking at a SaaS? Or they're trying to sell me something?
Oh, you mean like the landing page? I thought you meant the dashboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
And
I haven't seen the landing page for ages, but I think that probably definitely like is time for a redesign.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna show you some mock-ups here. But all in all, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, gee, Sergio times Ethan, insane. Awesome. I'm reading your chat.
All in all, it's just Makerlog. The redesign will be a big deal next year. A huge deal in terms of making Makerlog community centric instead of a bunch of pages.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
I'm getting a massive ass sideway. There we go. So this is a concept here. As you see, it's way cleaner than before.
Oh yeah, that
the
one.
Sidebar here is front and center.
Yeah.
So it can discussions and whatnot.
I like that.
The color scheme is a bit more thought out because right now it's just ugly. And I want to be able to, now that I have styled components, I can do things like as you did with maker.rocks, which is views and whatnot, right?
Oh yeah, that thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably do something similar, and just generally make Makerlog pretty.
Yeah, awesome.
Pretty, okay, I'm not gonna humble brag or anything, but it's currently prettier than WebChat. But it's not pretty. It's not that pretty. So I'm gonna make it prettier, make it a bit better looking, and just generally more presentable and more community centric. I criticize WebChat's design, but I secretly envy something they did. And it's how community centric it is. The landing page. Like instantly when you look there, and when you type in web.chat, quickly you see a bunch of faces, you see new questions being asked, you see a whole feed, you see streaks, right? And that's warm and inviting, right?
Yeah, but with the Makerlog you see like a black background and like
yeah.
title.
But when you open the Makerlog homepage, it's ugly as hell.
Yeah.
It's like just literally trying to sell you something. And
yeah.
Now that the community is a bit bigger and I don't have the chicken and egg problem, I can make it community centric.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Hold on. We've talked a lot about growth here. Let's talk about the development process once again, because I have a topic here and talk about. And this may be dragging on for too long. It's been like 3 hours of just talking. But, I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
How do I put this into words? Yeah, I can't. I have no idea. I have no idea. I was gonna ask something, but forgot. It had something to do with the development process. Oh, you know what? I have another question completely unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for KanbanMail? Like, what's the roadmap this year? What do you plan to do with it? How are you growing it? New features you're doing? Tell me more.
Yeah. So, like from a growth point of view, first of all, like I've been having, like like KanbanMail is kind of a hard product to market because there we go. Because like Makerlog, you know, you find makers and be like, hey, here's a thing to log your tasks. And some people might have seen it and be like, oh, I want something like that. But the problem is nobody wakes up in the morning and thinks like, I want Trello for my emails, you know? Or like, not many people think that. So like, I mean, now KanbanMail's ranking first for like KanbanMail, obviously, Kanban email, email Kanban, Kanban in email, like all those sorts of
I
things.
saw your group ranking. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but like the problem is like barely anyone searches that up, you know. There aren't that many people who like really think of those ideas. Like I don't think KanbanMail's really like an obvious idea. Obviously, other people have had it, and there are like a few similar things out there. And like obviously, probably lots of people have had the idea but haven't executed on it. But like I think there's a very small amount of people who think I want a Kanban thing for email. So what I need to do is I need to get better at finding the people who would find it useful, because like with a lot of other products, people are just like, okay, I want something like this. You're like, I want a flight search website or something. Let's search up flight search website. But with KanbanMail, you kind of need to think, okay, I think that you want this. Like, they don't know that they want it until they've seen it. So you need to find them first. So that's, like, quite hard, really. Also, I think, like, obviously on Twitter, most of my followers are makers. And, like, it feels natural to just post it on Twitter, because then you get new sign-ups and all that stuff. But, like, probably the people who would benefit from KanbanMail the most aren't following me on Twitter. So I really need to, like, kind of get around more productivity forums, like YouTube channels, like search queries that aren't really random, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
This is kind of out of the blue, but have you tried contacting some of these productivity YouTube channels?
Yeah.
Like emailing them?
You know, like Keep Productive. They're the one who.
I was.
Yeah, they're the one who makes all the videos and like Notion and stuff. I think I've sent him like a couple of Twitter DMs, and he hasn't really replied to those so far. So I think I'm gonna like yeah, I'm gonna send him an email probably, because maybe he checks that more or something. He is actually following me on Twitter, which is interesting though. So that's kind of cool. But it also means that my DMs won't show up in the message request thing. So definitely, like I've contacted him somewhat. I should probably contact him more. Other than that, I haven't really like done a big search for productivity YouTube channels. I think I kind of happened across that one. In fact, I think I was searching for Kanban email or something, or like one of those related search things, and like the other competitor, Drag. There was like a video by him saying like drag review or something. So yeah, I think that's how I found him. So I need to find other similar people, and also kind of send messages to them. Because I think productivity is hot right now, but then again, it's kind of always been, I think. But yeah.
It's a classic topic. Everybody wants to be more productive.
Yeah. And like, people are saying like, oh, email is outdated, email isn't the future, like Slack is the future, or whatever it is. But like, the fact is, people still get like tons of emails. Like, you can't even sign up to like a website without your email address, you know? So, like, definitely, I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. Yeah.
Okay, this is the one last question that will probably end the stream.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last question. For real this time. What is next for you in terms of personal growth? Not just growth in terms of your products, you know, and numbers and marketing and that. But in terms of personal growth, what do you want to do in 2019?
2019. Okay. Like, first of all, this is kind of product related, but like, I think I'm kind of like I've gotten over like a lot of, you know, like maker related fears, like fear of launching, like fear of charging, all those sorts of things. But I think one fear I haven't really gotten over yet is selling to businesses. So like B2B, you know, like business to business instead of business to customer. Like, because they're the ones who like have all the money, and they're probably much more willing to like spend it on things. And also like, you know, like across the whole company, or even if it's just like a small company with like 5 people or something. Yeah. So like at the moment, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty scared about that. Because, you know, they're companies. Like, if you waste half an hour of their time trying to get something to work, like in their like weird manager head, that's like a loss in profit or something, you know, loss in productivity. Yeah. So like I mean, you can always just like ignore some person on Crisp or whatever for like 2 days and then reply to them, you know, or like, but when there's like a big, well, even not a big company, like, you know, a smallish company like paying you like lots of money, well, you know, like quite a bit more money, and they're like, something isn't working, you kind of have to like give that feature to them or whatever. Like, even if it's a really complicated thing to do. So, like, I have worries about that, but in 2019, I definitely want to, like, get over that fear and start actually trying to find companies to sell it to. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, in general, your goals for next year are doing B2B. Do you plan to learn like anything new, maybe development related, marketing related, startup related, anything new you want to learn?
I think definitely cold emailing is something. I envy Pat Wall's. His cold emailing skills are insane. I've read a few blog posts like about how he grew Starter Story and stuff, and like he was. I can't see your screen. It's like overexposed. Still can't see that.
This is an interruption, but Peter Levels just launched something.
Oh really? What did he launch?
I don't know. I'm gonna share my screen. Keep talking. What were you saying?
Oh yeah,
about your goals?
Yeah. So like Pat Walls, it seems like he sends out a bunch of emails, like cold emails to random people, and then like replies magically fall from the sky, you know. Like, yeah. like I find that pretty insane. He was sending like hundreds of cold emails for Start a Story, and like there were tons of people who rejected him, but yeah, he still gets a ton of people, and like same with sponsors, sponsors for the 24-hour startup challenge, but also sponsors for his blog. Like I think it's like 1,000 and something a month or something. But yeah, so like I'd really like to be able to kind of just like get cold emailing, because that's something that I still don't get. So yeah. Like that's something I think could be like, because that's really useful. Just being able to get any random people, as long as you know who to email, like yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's a really useful skill, being able to persuade somebody out of nowhere.
Yeah, and like without being spammy and stuff. Like it's hard though, because like normally if somebody just like sent you like a cold email, like you don't like them, you know, like I think that is slightly wrong. Oh, is this Peter Level's thing? No, but he only started working on this last night. Like legitimately, last night he was like, what type of token do I use to authenticate the product hunt API? Look, here we go. Yeah, so we were talking about it, and then he's like, yeah, so he was like asking me, how do you get, and then...
Dude, that's my brother! What the fuck?
What's your brother? Wait.
That's my brother! my brother is there.
Is your brother a maker?
Apparently.
Apparently? You didn't know?
No.
What is this?
Oh no, it's just an account he uses to upload or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For a moment I was like, wait, what?
So yeah, I was sending him like here we go.
Anyways, yeah.
See, this was what it was looking like less than 24 hours ago. Oh, actually, a bit more than 24 hours ago. But yeah. So yeah, back to that. Yeah, cold emailing's big thing I want to learn how to do properly. I'm thinking, like, I'm starting to get design. Because like design's one of those things that for a long time I just didn't really get. Like you see a design on Dribble, and you're like, this looks like beautiful, and you know it looks beautiful, and you might be able to like pinpoint some reasons why it looks beautiful, but you know, you would have no idea how to go about creating something like that yourself, other than just copying their design, you know. So I think like all these things take time to get. So I think I'm starting, like I've got programming, like a lot of it, the stuff I need to know. I've got design mostly, and now I wanna get marketing. So I know like people like Pat Walls is like, oh, you have amazing marketing, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I can relate to that. Cause Pat Walls is a lot of people actually. Even I think Dave told me. You know, he was like, "You have great marketing," and I'm like, "I don't."
Yeah, like I mean, like I think I'm doing all right, but like there's definitely a lot I can improve. Like I think with a lot of skills, definitely when it comes to making, like there's a point where you just get it and then it becomes kind of easy. So like I've hit that point with programming, design. I don't think I've hit that point with marketing yet. And that's something I'd like to do more in 2019.
Marketing is extremely unpredictable because it's not like it's not like programming when you type something and you always get one output.
Yeah.
You get what in marketing, it's so variable, and anything can go wrong or go right in unexpected directions. Even if you try something you think will work, you know, because it's all about humans, and humans are unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very tough skill to manage and learn in general.
I think also like a big part of marketing that I haven't really touched on that much yet is onboarding, which is kind of a different type of marketing. So like I think I'm all right at getting like people to my sites. Like I think Code the Web maybe has had like 40,000 people. I think KanbanMail's had like 37,000 people or something. I mean, obviously, a lot of those were from Hacker News, which was when it was in like very early beta, which is why they didn't, like, none of them converted. Like, I don't think any of the people who found it from Hacker News turned into paying customers, which was just because, yeah, like, because it was early. But I mean, definitely that was a huge motivation boost, and like, I'm happy it happened. But yeah, so I think I'm alright at getting people to the site. And I think I'm pretty good at getting them to like sign up to stuff. I think it's a problem with getting them to pay for stuff, and like getting them to actually stay. So I have something like this written down in my Notion, I think, but I was kind of just imagining in my head the steps you first go through, like as a user to KanbanMail, when you sign up. So it's like you sign up, you sign in with Google or whatever, and then you're greeted by like a screen, which doesn't really showcase the potential, because you see like these 5 columns, then you see like every single email in the uncategorized column, and it's like, how's this going to help me with my productivity? You don't really like get how useful it is until you've used it for like a few days and you've gotten into the swing. So I think like a lot of people really just see, oh nice, it's a board, like draggy with my mouse a few times, like kind of cool, and then like leave it. So I need to make the onboarding better so that like as soon as you sign up, you can immediately see how it's useful to you.
I think you have a great onboarding though. Like at least the tour that's on KanbanMail.app, the tour is really simple, straight to the point. It tells me what it's about. Although I do get what you're coming from. Some people just don't like to read and just skip tutorials completely.
But like right. What I'm thinking for the onboarding is not so much like a tutorial or something. Like I have like 6 slides or something. They tell you like what KanbanMail is, but you probably already know what it is. I think like I need to come at onboarding from a like actually helping you get to using the product. So like helping you like know what to move to done, like maybe even moving stuff to done for you. Maybe they should all show up in done. Maybe there could be like some example data and like a tutorial where it's like you know the demo video, how it's like, okay, Jenny's done this, and then you go code it and then move it to done. Like maybe have like an interactive tutorial like that with example data, like before you actually start using it with your emails. So then you can see, okay, this will be useful. I've dragged it around myself, and I think this is cool. Now I see all my emails, and I think this is going to be good. Like just getting it in their mind that they've actually gone through the process with like an example inbox where it's like guiding you through it. I think that could be something really great to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing you could try.
Hmm?
You could totally like Skype every new customer. Kidding! Don't ever do that. It's a bad idea. But yeah, I like your goals. I think you're focused very much on growth, and that's great. You're also focused on learning about, for example, marketing. I think you have your priorities straight. I think you have them very. So like I think like 5 times. Yeah, you have your priorities straight. You know what you want to do. You know your goals. You know how to grow your startups. You know what you want to do, feature-wise, development-wise, marketing-wise. I think that's great. I think that you have pretty clear vision of the path forward, and that's pretty remarkable. A lot of makers don't. That's pretty remarkable. Good work,
Cool.
honestly.
Thanks.
Well,
What are you
uh,
like? What are your goals?
my goals. Well, I have a list. um, my goals are mostly just personal growth, not just maker growth. Um, in terms of maker growth, I want to grow in terms of. Sorry, I'm kind of dead. I'm tired. Uh, in terms of maker growth, I think I want to not just grow in vanity metrics and numbers,
Yeah.
but also grow in terms of how do I put this? Just grow as a person in general, in experience, in experience launching products, in experience growing a community. Makerlog is my first, relatively successful product.
Your other forum. That thing.
Out of all the forums, this one's stuck.
Yeah.
Makerlog is my first real successful product, right? And steering that forward and giving it a direction, right, has been quite challenging. So I want to continue growing my experience, my bulk of experience in that aspect, right?
Mhm.
Um, I also want to grow, as you said, my marketing skills. I think they're fine right now, as you say.
Mhm.
I'm currently on the same situation as you.
Yeah.
I think my marketing skills are fine, but they could be better, right?
Mhm.
Uh, at times, I think it's terrible, but at times, I also think it's fine. That I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I've grown a lot uh, over the past. I've grown me and both my startups, and I'm doing. I've grown a lot recently, and probably being really incoherent.
Mhm.
Um, am I making sense?
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Uh,
this year's been like a really long year. Like, in May, I was like a lurker on indie hackers, you know?
I actually, that's one of my resolutions for next year. Actually, be active on Indie Hackers.
Hmm.
I'm so inactive there
Yeah,
just because
I don't post much there either. I should, but yeah.
if I had a good Android app, I'd probably be super active.
Hmm. Yeah.
A big solution for Makerlog is mobile.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That sounds awesome.
Somebody's making an app.
Yeah.
Uh, I I was pretty surprised. That's pretty cool. If he actually releases it, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would be
that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
And that will buy me some time before I actually release an official one.
Hmm.
Eventually, I do need to make one. I just really don't have the time to do it right
That
now.
actually sounds kind of like what Dribble did. Like on Android, like for years they didn't have an Android app. And like there was like an unofficial one, and like that ended up actually becoming part of Dribble, and like there was a notice saying like whatever the old name was has now turned into the official Dribble app, and like yeah.
Right? Yeah. Uh, yeah, that could be an option, but it's too early to tell yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's more of an idea, though.
Yeah.
Um, all in all, I think the future is bright for Makerlog. I think it's bright for OpSpot. I gotta actually finish OpSpot. You know, I've been something that's been on my mind is that I've been dragging it a lot, and I don't. I'm still battling to keep that momentum going because I don't want it to die,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah.
Uh, but really, the thing is, I find it very hard to launch products quick because I don't want it to suck. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
in the sense of I am a, I know that if I make it in my, if I make a product quick to launch and validate, I won't feel satisfied. And this is my way of work. People work differently. Some people, a lot of people can launch products really quick and feel good about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my view, in my mind, I, in my conscience, if I don't feel a product is fully baked and has all kinks ironed out, and for example, the user experience works really well, and it works magically. If it does not work magically yet, and I don't feel it's ready, I cannot launch it. I can't. So that's why just it's a kind of
I think,
perfectionist.
yeah, like something that kind of like helps with that, for me at least, is like you might remember in KanbanMail with KanbanMail in July or whatever, when I launched a beta, and I gave it to like you and Danuka and I think a few other people. I think it was like 17 people or something. But actually, like just having users using it, like even just a few, like knowing that it's like this is a beta version, big sign up the top saying beta, you know, like, and like the world not exploding, is like then you know that you're ready. Like for example, with Hacker News, like I didn't actually let all of those people who signed up in until like a month later, I think. So because I'd added a bit more stuff by then, and when I let them in, I realized, okay, nothing bad happens. Like, you know, so yeah, like if it can handle like these 400 people who like got sent an email, then I think it's ready to at least like soft launch it on Twitter and see how it goes. And then like if there aren't any like major problems, then launch it on Product Hunt. And then I launched it, I think like 1 or 2 weeks after the soft launch on Twitter. I think 2 weeks. Yeah.
In my case, I don't think it's like a bad thing. That's why I'm not actively trying to get over the fear of just releasing a product. Because in my case, I don't really think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
In the sense of
like definitely it should be like polished.
Exactly. Yeah, it should just be solid. And for a product of the scope of OpSpot, it does matter a lot that it's
Yeah.
a solid,
Mhm.
Especially in the field I am in, and the things I want to do with it. I can't half-ass the technical base at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because I could have continued. I could have launched that MVP completely. That I launched it in 24 hours, right? I could have launched that on Product Hunt, made it a big deal. The thing is, I realized that the technologies I used for it are not scalable in the long run and don't align with my goals for it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm rewriting it in React, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I find it actually, once I overcame, with my previous experience of working on Makerlog, right? And learning from my mistakes there and the things I shouldn't have done.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever use Redux. From learning from all those mistakes and my past experience, building a relatively medium-sized React app,
Mm-hmm.
the development experience has been much more pleasant this time around.
I think that's the same with yeah. That's the same with maker.rocks.
Huh?
That's the same with maker.rocks. Like I think for KanbanMail, it took me like a week to get the sign up with Stripe working. With maker.rocks, it took me like an hour maybe. Like including like sending login codes to email and like all that stuff. So yeah.
All in all, I think I'm doing the right thing by extending the launch a little bit. Because there was a lot of OpSpot hype, right?
Yeah.
But if I went with the hype and released a half-assed product, on the long run, it would have been a bad move.
Yeah.
A really bad move.
Like I don't think you should have like launched it by now. But I think just maybe getting like a few early users, like maybe just like a few people from the Maker's Kitchen in, like I think that'll help you ship.
Oh yeah.
Like
Eventually, I'm gonna launch in like probably a week or so once I get at least feature parity with the old version.
awesome.
Right.
Hmm.
Once I achieve feature parity, I'm probably gonna deploy it on Netlify and make it work.
Awesome.
And add some people from the kitchen. You maybe I think Dinoco wanted access. Actually, yes, it's been running the current version, the old version, right? The one made in 24 hours total. It's been running successfully as a. We've been using it, Dinoco and I,
Oh, wow.
to check when the Slack token expires for the Maker's Kitchen.
Oh,
So every
like,
day it.
is
Every
that
day it checks.
for the website? Like where it shows.
Yeah, for the website information log.
Awesome.
Every day it checks whether the Slack token expired, and once it goes in the red, we know and we can change the token. So it's kind of been being used for all this
Awesome.
time.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. So like that's good because then you're kind of getting like, yeah, you're using it and yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of using it, the old version, but it's still being used.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. That's good. That's what you want.
All in all, OpSpot, the situation with OpSpot is fragile, and I need to handle it with care. Because I know I can't take too long.
Yeah.
I'm already taking quite too long.
Yeah, like I was worried with KanbanMail. I waited like 2 or 3 months, I think, after Hacker News before launching.
Oh, yeah. But you actually did super well, so I'm worried that you know that I won't nail it like I've done previously. But I think I'll be fine either way.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that want to try it. As long as I don't take too long.
Yeah. But I think like even if you like theoretically took like 5 months or something, like if people got excited about it before the 24-hour startup, like I don't think they just got excited because because it was going to be built in 24 hours. Like if you launched it in 5 months or something, there would still probably be a similar amount of hype. I think it's kind of like you were saying with your job offer. Like if you get one now, you'll probably get more similar ones later.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like that.
If when I start seeing that the product is ready and super early testers are liking it, and it will be, I think it's fine. Then I can start bringing in a lot of hype.
Yeah,
like a lot of hype.
Yeah,
I'll do a launch stream. I'll do a lot of stuff.
awesome.
I'll be hyping it up on Twitter. Getting my marketing game up on point.
Yeah.
Talking about Twitter, something I also want to do. Have you noticed that the Makerlog account hasn't been tweeting a lot recently?
Yeah, I have actually. Fun fact. You know how you can turn like notifications on for users? I actually I have notifications turned on for the Makerlog account. Because like I think lots of people who follow me like news from the Maker community. So like I have notifications turned on. So like if I see Makerlogs retweeted something, then like I get to see it. So then I can retweet it if it looks like something good. So yeah, I haven't got that many notifications lately.
It's been on the back burner, mostly because my personal account is growing, and that way, for example, if I'm posting Makerlog news, it reaches more people.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like I used to post product updates for KanbanMail, from the KanbanMail account. But now I think KanbanMail has maybe 200 or 300 followers, and I have 1,700 pretty much. So now often I just tweet it from my personal account and then just retweet it from KanbanMail.
Yeah, then I retweet it. Yeah, that's the same thing I do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of. I gotta get back into that habit of using the Makerlog account much more often. very interesting. This is a different topic altogether. I'm gonna finish that question. I'm gonna finish that question I was answering about my goals for next year.
Oh yeah.
Now, in the personal aspect, I'm gonna finish it quick so I can move on to another topic.
Awesome.
On the personal aspect of growth,
Mm-hmm.
I want to this year actually set a resolution for health
Mm-hmm.
because I like my current lifestyle. I
Mm-hmm.
like what I'm. Oh, I'm chilling. Okay, let me rephrase that. I like how things are turning out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This year has been one of the best years in terms of personal and career growth in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And this and last, right? I like how it's been turning out, but the thing is, I also got to think of myself. I got to think about my health. I got to think about mindfulness. I don't want to go through too much stress because that's unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
So things are changing. I'm in college now. I don't have as much free time, so managing my time can get finicky, and it can get like really tricky,
Mm-hmm.
tricky to deal with. Even though at times it seems like I have more free time because for example, I don't take class on Fridays. I get into school like 2 or something, 2 p.m. Right? So it kind of gives you that illusion of having more free time, but you really don't, because with a lot of free time comes a lot of more responsibilities. For example, say uh, picking up bread at the shop or something. I don't fucking know. A lot of responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of more like adult things that you didn't know you would have to do and now you do.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, and adjusting to that is difficult. So at the end of the day, you essentially have little time. You arrive home, you're dead inside. You just want to like crash into your bed and die. So now I kind of understand the whole thing about people arriving home and dying. Um, but I think it also has to do with health.
Mm-hmm.
And if I, for example, normalize my sleep schedule, right? I normalize my sleep schedule. I wake up earlier. I take some time to meditate, which I've been doing more frequently often,
Awesome.
and just get my mind together. I think I'll be in a better off shape on the longer run.
Mm.
You know? And it will also help me with my growth, my clarity, my mental clarity to like work on my projects and
Yeah.
reducing stress is very important. And I think that's something I want to talk about in the Maker community. That I think we can't really work ourselves too hard.
Yeah.
I would,
Definitely.
because it causes burnout, and that's something I want to also deal with.
Yeah.
Burnout is a bad thing. It's horrible. Um, I was watching one of Dinoka's vlogs, right? I
Yeah.
really liked it. I really like his vlogs. I think they're really well edited. I like what he talks about. I like his motivation. There's one thing I disagreed with.
Mm-hmm.
That at one point he had this video in which he mentioned that you in your 20s you should work every moment of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Every free moment you have, you should devote it to work, and that you should keep the hustle mentality and the grind and whatnot, right? I don't believe in that. I do understand. Look, we both ship really hard.
Mm-hmm.
We both ship products 24/7. We have kind of the same mentality in a way.
Yeah.
About it, right? So that's why I understand you. You understand me.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking so fluidly because we kind of have the same goals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think that's unhealthy, like completely unhealthy. You can't devote 100% of your time to work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because number one, you'll be causing yourself burnout, and then you will have moments where you'll be working 100% of your time, then you have 3 months of just depression.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you wasted a lot more time
Mm-hmm.
by trying to overwork yourself.
Yeah.
And number two, because generally, if you overwork yourself, your mental clarity will be fucked.
Yeah.
You won't be able to think straight. You and also, man, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
You enjoy life at this stage. And I know it sounds. I know Dinuka talked about this, and he was like, "Oh, people say that you have to go partying, you have to like do stuff, and go away." And in a way, that's kind of true because, and I'm not saying. I think maybe I'm taking it out of context what he said, but through my lens, what he's trying to say is more like you don't have to be. What he's trying to say is get up your lazy ass and do shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's the point that he's making subliminally that I don't agree with, and it's that you should never go out. That you should like just devote 100%
Yeah.
of your
I
time.
definitely don't agree with that.
I do not agree with that. I
I
think it
think.
just causes issues on the long run. Yeah, like take a weekend off or something.
Yeah.
Every once
Like.
in a while, take a weekend.
I mean. Yeah. I think I'm probably just gonna like. I might go camping for like a weekend or something in a few weeks.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
you know, have good experiences with people
Yeah.
you care about. Because
Like.
the
De-
hustle is great and all, but experiences also matter
yeah.
a lot.
I think
And just having
like you should. I mean, like if it's not fun anymore, then you should be doing like enough that you don't stop. Um, you know. But like if it's not fun, then I like if it's getting more like a chore. I don't think you should be like spending all of every day doing it. Like just do a little bit and then do more other stuff. You know, like you shouldn't be doing it because like Gary V or someone tells you to work harder. You know, like.
yeah, I get it. I get it. Then again, I, I I half agree with what he's saying. I agree that you should take these years of like your youth to do productive things and
Yeah,
aspire for bigger things because eventually you won't be able to, right?
yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, as mentioned earlier, I completely disagree with devoting 100% of your time and stressing yourself too much.
Yeah,
Because eventually, in the long run, let's say when you get to 60, you'll be a dead man.
yeah, like
Or like heart attacks and shit. Or, you know, just generally, you'll be worse off.
yeah. I think
And
like
in the short term, too, like you'll get burnout. You will uh, lose a lot of time to depression. You'll get depressed. Staying at home 24/7 is not a good thing.
yeah,
You
hmm
need to be with people. You need to like go
yeah,
out, have fun, have experiences, and enjoy your life. Just enjoy your life.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think like it's definitely like obviously you can't spend the entire time like making stuff
Yeah.
because that just doesn't work. And also like stress, like I don't think it's ever productive. Like I can't really think. I mean, the only stress I can think of that's productive is if like you're in the middle of like Africa and a lion's about to eat you and you run away. But like in most cases, if you're stressed about something, you're like like it's not a good mood to be in and all that stuff. But also, whatever it is, you're just gonna end up doing it worse. You know? Yeah,
Yeah, stress is not particularly productive.
yeah,
It
but,
just kind of it fogs your mind a little bit
mhm.
in a way.
But the problem is that, like, I think, like, occasionally, like, it feels like you're being productive, you know? But you're not. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something I thoroughly disagreed with, and yeah, it's just a topic that I think has been pushed on a lot by those figures, like as you mentioned, Gary Vee, and those people with that really with that grind hard, grind every day, hustle every day mentality. Oh yeah, get shit done, and it may sound disingenuous considering that I made a product that needs to ship every day. It may sound slightly hypocritical, but it's more of a realization I've had recently. That that I want to, for example, on Makerlog, integrate break times and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because all in all, it matters. That grind hard, hustle, yeah, all that shit mentality is eventually going to screw you over.
Yeah. I think I actually like me personally, I like the do something every day thing, because I think like when you don't do anything, then it's hard to like stay in the loop of things, and then you just end up feeling worse and it's all counterproductive. But I think like you should do like at least something very small every day. So like in your mind you're still working on these products, you know? Yeah.
Bingo. Read my mind.
There's actually there's this guy. Have you heard of John Sonmez?
No.
Okay. Well, he's kind of like the Gary Vee of programming, sort of. Except then his channel went all weird, and I think now it's not even programming anymore. Now it's like about how to get dates or something. But definitely it used to be like this programming channel thing. And he was kind of like, yeah, you need to like work for this stuff, like some of the Gary Vee stuff. But something he said that I do agree with is like, I think he called it like trust the process. Like trust that if you've like done the right stuff, like that's all that matters, you know? Like it's not about the output, it's more about like the input, and like have you been doing the right things? Like, you know, like I mean the 2,000 Twitter follower things. That's kind of just, it's not like a proper goal. That's like a kind of fun sort of goal, because like you don't have control. You like unless you look up one of those auto follower bot things, you don't have control. Like something you could do is you could say like I want to post this many tweets per day, or like I want to tweet more about this topic, and like that's something where like that's the process that gets the result. And like I think one part of which is sort of part of the like hustle hard movement thing, which is good, is that like you should like trust what you're doing and like focus on that, and like focus on the output. Like if it's not working, then like change what you're doing, but like don't make the output the goal.
Yeah, I think based on what you said, you kind of like read my mind on the posture, on my position, my point of view. In the sense of, I'm going to change my position. I think what's unhealthy, what's healthy is doing something every day, something that grows you, something that grows your product, something that's completely healthy. That's fine, and you know that aligns with Makerlog's goals. There we go. So I'm not being like ironic or hypocritical by saying that. That's Makerlog's goal, essentially. Do something every day.
Yeah.
And keep doing it, right? What is unhealthy is spending 100% of your time working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm trying to convey here.
Yeah.
That's why, even though I admire the and I understand the point of the grind hard, hustle hard, thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do dislike that these figures try to push you, try to tell you that fucking yourself over, pardon the language, emotionally and mentally is a
Yeah.
good thing,
Yeah.
and it's not a good thing. Everything in balance, really, everything in balance,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
of course. Um, Another thing I want to touch. I know I said it was the last question like a long time ago, but
What
honestly,
time is it
I
there?
keep thinking of things we talk about. If you wanted to end the stream, it's totally fine, even though I have a few topics.
Okay. What's the time here? What's the time there? It must be like it's getting light already. Like,
7:22 a.m.
did you stay up like all night, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably end like I think soon, maybe. But like, okay, what's the time? Here is like 10:22 p.m. Maybe like 10, 20 more minutes or something. 10,
Let's see,
15
20
minutes.
more minutes.
Yeah. Okay,
Alright.
sounds good. Yeah.
5 minutes for the outro.
I think, yeah, I was planning on writing like a blog post in this, but only because I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat cake, and then what do I do for the rest of the stream?
Conversation has been a blog post.
Yeah, this has actually been great. I should like, I mean, I'm definitely gonna put this on my YouTube channel. Like, feel free to put it on your YouTube channel too if you want. But yeah.
You probably have better audio since my audio capture is screwed up. So,
Okay. Well, yeah. Mine also has 2 steps from hell music in the background, but quietly.
what you should do is probably like cut up with the good bits.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen H3 and what he does with like his podcast?
No.
Essentially, it's a massive ass podcast of like 1 hour, right? But they do a highlights channel in which they show interesting parts of interesting topics.
Well, like I think in the YouTube description you can say like the time, and then it like automatically goes to that time when you click on it.
Put it up.
Yeah, so be like at this time talking about this time. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
one last topic. I don't know if Zachary is listening right now. Sorry if I'm like a little more laid back in my conversation. I'm just really.
No, it's all good. Like, I would barely be able to talk if it was that.
I don't know if Zachary is still listening. He was listening like an hour ago. Let's talk about Makerlog.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually one of the biggest fans of Makerlog.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the initiative. I love what Zach and the team are doing. With Kerr and everybody. I think it has so much potential. Makerlog. I'm a huge fan for several reasons. Number one, because I believe in the people who are doing it. Like, I think Zachary has a lot of potential. I think Kerr has a lot of potential too. I think Party Value is also in there. Has a lot of potential. I mean, the guy literally built a product while I was streaming in 10 minutes. Number two, because the reporting is so good.
Yeah.
They've been constantly pushing out content and high quality content.
Yeah.
The live stream, when they were covering the live streams, they were pushing out tweets and tweets.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Number three, because I think the maker movement is growing so fast that it warrants a news source.
Yeah, like it's hard to keep up with everything, you know?
Exactly. It warrants a news source.
Yeah.
And something like TechCrunch for the maker world would be insanely beneficial for everybody. Now the news aren't constrained to whatever, say, a bigger figure tweets or retweets, right?
Yeah.
And you get rid of those biases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those biases that these bigger figures bring to the community. I'm not
Mhm.
mentioning names, right?
Yeah.
And you have an unbiased news source, Makerlog, right?
Yeah, like there's not really anything that they can be biased about, to be honest. Like there's no politics involved in making.
Instead of like, and now the community has a news source that's unbiased.
Yeah.
Reports does really good reporting because on Twitter they've been doing good reporting.
Yeah.
You know, it's killer. It's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
That's what the community needs. We need this. This is awesome. And the third or fourth, I don't remember. I think it was third. The third reason that I'm a huge fan of it is because I believe in, yeah, it's the same as before. I believe in the end goal.
Yeah. I'm also,
and I think it will like the community so much.
yeah, like from what I've seen of it, it's been really great. And I think it'll also like help smaller makers get discovered, because like I feel like we're on this conveyor belt. Like we start off as smaller makers, then we slowly get bigger, and then the new people come along, and we're just kind of all going up. So I think like they can help with the people down the bottom who like, you know, who are new to the like community and don't have a big following yet, and yeah.
Of course, absolutely. I think so. I think that the community really needs this.
Yeah. I'm
They've been
also
going so rapid.
yeah, like they've got a lot of followers already.
Dude, they launched like a few weeks ago. They already have like 500 or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it took me like 3 months to get there.
Exactly. That's insane. That's amazing. And that shows one thing. That there's a demand for this.
Yeah.
That people want this. That people want these news. People want to stay informed on what the maker community is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And a good thing about this is that, for example, if it keeps on growing, I see it becoming an alternative to product hunt.
That's an
If you
interesting
think about
thought.
If you think about it, vision-wise, product hunt has kind of a stranglehold on on launching, right?
Mm-hmm.
On launching, on the process, and they're trying to get a stranglehold on the maker community too, with PH makers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stranglehold is kind of like a very harsh word.
Yeah,
I'd call it more like.
I don't think they're doing like bad things, but like they definitely like are like the biggest thing, you know, like.
I'm not implying that they're doing bad things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say that product hunt dominates product launch.
Yeah.
They're trying to dominate the makers community,
mm-hmm.
and I feel that they need more competition for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you understand. And here comes Makerlog, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could potentially be a news source, a voice for the makers community, right?
Yeah.
And if it gets big enough, it'll extend outside of the makers community.
Yeah, that will be like awesome. Like, because I mean, like getting press for your product is hard.
Exactly. Boom.
So like.
Bingo, Ethan.
Like if Makers Up is like going to, like for example, I don't think it went ahead and stuff, but like when for the 24-hour startup, like Pat and people were considering like, you know, taking it to like TechCrunch and getting like coverage on some of these bigger sites, then that like kind of, it's like, okay, well I don't have to go get press. It's like 24-hour startup will get press, and then like probably some of them will see me, you know. So like if Makers Up, you know, like finds the best like news of the month or something, let's say, and like go and like cold emails the bigger news sources for you, then like that's good for them because like they're getting free promotion from like big news sources. then it's also good for makers, because then like all your stuff ends up on like occasionally ends up on like TechCrunch or like any of those websites or wherever it is, you know.
I don't think it's more in that sense of like them emailing other press source instead of them becoming the press source.
Yeah, like definitely within the maker community, yeah. But I'm saying like when it starts like getting out of the maker community, and like that becomes something which brings people into the maker community, you know. Yeah.
I think that Makersup has this potential to become the voice of the indie maker community.
Yeah, definitely.
And potentially even challenge product hunt when it comes to launch. Imagine an indie maker that wants to launch his product, a tiny indie maker, made a really cool product.
Mm-hmm.
This indie maker has the potential to be reported by on, let's say Makersup is the tech crunch for makers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for indie products, right? And instead of going to Product Hunt to launch like and get a million upvotes and all that exposure, say Makersup writes an article about this product,
Mm-hmm.
and it garners that attention. And since Makersup at this point would have reached outside of the of the community, TechCrunch picks up on it. Everybody picks up on it. Everybody writes an article about it. You know, it has this massive potential to unite the community and become what is the voice of the indie maker community. And I think that is it could be huge.
Yeah.
It could be huge. It will help small up and coming makers. It will help small up and coming products. It'll report on news from everybody in the community in general. And at least that's what I think. That's where I think the potential lies.
Yeah.
To just become a voice for the community and unify the community in a way, and also legitimize the movement in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually interested to see how it plays with Anne Law's thing, like that like indie maker magazine thing. Like the way I see it, like definitely. I mean, like who knows? Maybe later they'll combine or something. But
Right.
The way I see it for the moment is like the Makers Up is kind of the news. So that's where like you kind of find like new things and like new. I'm just repeating myself, but like you know, like things that have happened lately, like live almost. Like this person launched this yesterday, kind of like what's up. And then I see like Anne's thing as being kind of more of like the magazine, which isn't really focused on news, but it's just focused on content that indie makers like find interesting. So like, you know, like for example, the DM we got sent about like products for other makers, like that's not really news. It's not like Sergio just launched a product for makers or Ethan just launched maker.rocks. It's kind of like, okay, here's like a source that I can go to find like interesting opinions and interesting content. So I think like potentially like they could work well together. Like one being more of a news thing, and yeah.
I don't see it as a competitive relationship.
Yeah, definitely not. I think
see it as working together. Like for example, Makerlog in the kitchen.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely see it in that angle, right? Where, as you say, yeah, the magazine would be more of like higher quality content, like for example, interviews. It could be, say, just targeted content for makers, right? And the news and Makersup would just be the news. You know, what's happening, what's breaking, what people are launching. There's a lot of potential in this area, and it's an area that a lot of people are trying to touch. I've seen a lot of maker channels pop up, some acquired by Makersup, and I'm rooting for any of them, all of them, really. But I'm mostly rooting for Makersup because what they're doing is has a lot of potential. a lot of
Yeah.
attention. I'm rooting for Microsoft a lot. I hope it succeeds. I'm a huge fan of Zachary. I've seen Zachary's work. The guy is a remarkable maker.
Yeah.
Just hope it grows. We need this. We
Yeah.
really do need.
The other thing, like, that's good about it is, like, apparently Make Hub has come back from the dead now, which is cool. But like with that, it's like one person, and you know we don't really know what happened. Maybe he lost interest. Maybe there was like something else going on. Like you don't really know what's going on. But with Makers Up, it's got like a few people doing it. So I think Zachary's kind of leading it. I think. But like even if Zachary just went away and decided I never want to touch the internet again or something, you know, like it could still keep going, which I think is good.
Yeah, it's a solid project.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah.
Now the real question is, what the hell happened to MakeHub?
I don't know.
What happened to MakeHub? Not the same as it was. Like no update, no nothing. It's just up. What? Well, Ronald Metza followed me.
Just now, or
like a long time ago when we started the stream. I hope he joins Makerlog.
That'd be cool.
He probably won't.
I don't know. We'll see.
The thing is, I actually let's talk about Makerlog for a bit. How do I put this in words? I had a lot of. I had a whole. I was rooting for MakeHub. I was rooting for MakeHub to succeed because I thought the idea and the execution could have used some work, but the idea was great.
Yeah.
Like, and Ronald, you know, I was really rooting for MakeHub to work. I didn't think it was a whip clone.
Yeah, like I don't think so either.
I think it was. I think that was just an exaggeration from Peter.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I feel kind of sad that it did not go very well, and he took a hiatus or something. I don't know what happened, but it just showed up today. I want to see what happens to it, how he builds it, how he gains back that momentum he lost.
Yeah.
Especially after he made it paid only.
Yeah.
Because he went full whip on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a great move. It repelled many users. But I'm still rooting for the guy. I'm still rooting for Rano. I hope Makeup succeeds. And heck, I would love to do a Makerlog integration for Makeup.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I totally hope not on that.
Yeah.
Asking, talking legitimately. So, all in all, I think we should probably. I think that's it for the stream, really.
Yeah, probably.
How
many people
you wanted to touch? I do feel bad. I feel like we might have undermined the Maker's Kitchen podcast.
Oh yeah, like you know, like it's good. It's like a trial run, you know.
Yeah, it's a total trial run, and I think it went super well.
Yeah.
But all in all, well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. The replays are probably going to be on YouTube sometime. You know, follow Bully Goosh on Twitter. Follow Matei on Twitter. Join Makerlog. Get makerlog.com.
Yeah.
Sign up for maker.rocks. And get a pet rock delivered at your door. I'm kidding. really sign up for maker.rocks. And
Yeah.
that's I think that's it for today.
Let's see how many people are watching us now, if anyone's still watching. Oh, 7 people watching. Should I post like some of these? I'll post some of these links in the chat here. Then get makerlog.com. Then maker.rocks. I think that's it. Anything else we want to promo? Oh yeah, maybe.
Oh! Wait! Stop! Shout out to No Shit from Ben.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to No Shit. He just said it on the chat.
Oh yeah, should I?
All in all, I think that was a great discussion. I had a lot of fun. I ate pancakes.
Sorry, I let them get soggy.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna spend some time now cutting this up and dividing it into parts. Sleep. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate this. We both really appreciate this. It was kind of an unexpected conversation. This was not planned at all.
Yeah, this was totally unplanned. I think, like, I didn't even know that you were even going to be on until like an hour or so before.
There was no script here. There was no script. I wrote this up as we talked. Those who are watching the stream, I wrote this up. Well, guys, thanks so much. And well, Ethan, I have something to tell you now. Later, privately, you try to send me your address because you're gonna get some Makerlog stickers.
Whoa! Awesome.
So just drop me your address in the DM or something.
Okay. Awesome.
This was kind of a test run for a podcast too.
Yeah. Like.
Because it actually turned out pretty well.
Has anybody done streams like this before? I suppose Pat in the challenge, but that was kind of more of like a one-sided scripted thing. But yeah, this was good.
It was great. So thanks guys for watching, and catch you next time. Wait, one last thing. This weekend there may be a Maker's Kitchen podcast, the first Maker's Kitchen podcast, featuring me, featuring Ethan, featuring Dinuka. If this one was interesting, next one is gonna be like way more interesting. So, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna post links. It's probably gonna be on.
Should I link to like our YouTube channels? Because like I'm guessing.
My YouTube trash. So. My YouTube channel is trash. So.
No, but like for if we put stuff up, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll try to pretty it up, then.
I'll post it now anyway, so people can subscribe.
Send yours. I'll post it in my.
So here's this one, and then once you pretty it up, I'll add you in this sidebar here. I've got Peter Levels, Andre, Pat, and Danuka. I think. Can I go to here? No. Oh yeah, on your maker.rocks profile / Sergio. Maker.rocks in the wild. Okay, so that one is my YouTube channel. Here we go. Awesome. Got it.
Sent.
And then this is yeah,
You know what I find funny?
What?
All this time, my hotspot has been running tasks locally. I just checked it out, on my terminal, and it's just running a bunch of tasks.
Awesome.
I never stopped the server.
Oh wait, why did I put a question mark there by accident? I accidentally put a question mark.
I was like, what?
No question mark. That's...
Anyways, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We're gonna post some highlights on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to rename this.
Thanks
I think
what?
this stream is still called I Won Celebration plus blog post plus chill. So I need to update that. It's like Netflix and chill, but blog post and chill.
Blog post chill. Ethan, thanks for being on stream, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
That was like a fun conversation. It's kind of weird that we were like streaming the conversation from 2 streams at once. But it's good because you were using Restream. I haven't bothered to set that up yet. So all the Twitter people. Yeah, because it shows up the top of your Twitter, which is good. Yeah, okay. You should get some sleep now, probably.
I'm probably gonna start editing the video now. Are you gonna post it on YouTube?
Yeah. I don't think I'll split it up. I'll probably just post it and maybe like do some timestamps in like one of the comments or the description or something.
I'm probably gonna do that. No, I'm probably gonna split it up. I can't even talk properly. All right. Thanks very much for being on stream.
Okay.
And,
awesome.
Really appreciate it. Awesome.
That was fun. Okay. See ya. Hang up. Bye. Okay. Awesome. Hey everyone. People still watching? Yeah, 9 people. Hey everyone. Thanks for watching. This didn't really go to plan. I was actually I was planning. So I ate the cake. This whole stream was actually going to be about like winning the 24-hour startup challenge, and like I ate some cake with Sergio to celebrate. He ate some pancakes because he also came 6th. And yeah, so in the end, I didn't end up getting to write the blog post, but we did have like a great we had like a great 4-hour conversation. So if you want to rewatch some bits, I will be putting it up on my YouTube channel, which is like this link here. So subscribe to that, because like, and turn on notifications, like the bell thing, because then you'll get a notification when I upload it. So yeah, it's been awesome like streaming with you all. Yeah, also like follow me on Twitch, because I'll be doing this again sometime. I think this is my 3rd stream. Yeah, my 3rd stream. Like sometimes I watch people's streams and then forget to follow them, so don't forget to follow me. And yeah, feel free to say hi on Twitter or wherever. It's 10:50 p.m. now. I can't believe, I think Sergio stayed up till 3 a.m. and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna quickly make some pancakes and like we can we can do this thing and then I'll sleep. But I think, what did he say? Like, I think he said it's like 7 a.m. or something there now. So yeah, but it's the weekend. Okay, so bye everyone. This way. Hey, what's up? Bye everyone. I will see you later. Feel free to say hi on Twitter or wherever. And thanks for dropping by. Okay, stop streaming. Boom. See ya. Bye.